FDMG!
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school, you don't have to worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call from a teacher or an administrator telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication in order to get an education.
All right, Cookie Crush chat. We got a lot to get into, but time is ticking. My goodness gracious, let's get going. We gotta get going. We gotta get going. Thank you guys so much. Cookie Crush chat's undefeated. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's 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 coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I appreciate your presence. We have quite a few things to get into during this live stream. Umar went live. Shout out to James for letting me know. He went live maybe about 3 hours ago. So I have that video. We're going to get into that one today. And then right after that, we're going to get together as members. I'll be premiering the next segment of the documentary for members only. It's about 40 minutes long. So we got quite a bit to get into during today. I should say it that way. It's an interesting time. Winter is here. Umar clearly is in distress. I can tell simply by looking at, because I put together the thumbnail for this live stream, and I can tell already he's really struggling, but I called that. And there is a poll question. If you can vote on that poll while we're here, we already have 410 votes. What is the best thing that Umar Johnson can do right now? You know, best thing he can do right now to get things turned around, get his life turned around. I'm not even talking about FDMG because that's nothing more than a long con. 5% said get his own residence. He's been homeless since the end of 2019. 24% say get a job. He hasn't worked consistently since 2006. He did work in the Philadelphia school charter system from 2007 through 2010. I give him a little grace. I'll say 2011. But 25% say to get a job. 61% said stop scamming, and that's dealing with the FDMG school scam. But there's other scams he's run to over the years. And then 9% said stop turning the heat down. make sure you get your vote in during this live stream. And our goal too, in terms of likes, is 500 during this live stream. We got to get into this because I have this live stream for members only, and we got to get that done today. We're supposed to do it last Thursday. All right. Okay, so I want to get, before I get started, I just want to thank everyone too. Okay, I want to thank everyone for all of your support, for being here inside the chat room. Shout out to everyone inside the Cook Credit chat. I want to thank the mods, everyone who's been supportive of the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I do not take it for granted. I just want to start off by saying that. Okay, all right, we're gonna get right on into this. Let me share one thing, because for anyone who may not know this, and I know I've shown this thousands of times, but because of the numbers that we're getting right now, I want to make sure that everyone is aware of this post from Umar Abdullah Johnson. This was his original Facebook page from January 6, 2010. So this is 16 years ago and 2 weeks. Umar, he posted promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. The grand opening September 11, 2013. This is Chestnut Checkers. So this FDMG school was supposed to open September 11th of 2013. We are now in January of 2026 and no school in sight. Umar has collected a bare minimum. And I have this ready for everyone. I wanted to get this up today, but I'm going to hold off. I wanted to actually do a live stream and put this video up and go over it. But I think what I'm going to do to save time is just upload it as a standalone, and people can check it out that way. But I have already verified, and this is conclusive, that Umar Johnson has raised a bare minimum of $1,923,499. And this, we're not counting 2025. We're not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 2018. So I want people to be clear about this, that this is a long con. And Umar is telling people, and I had to correct myself, in 2024, November of 2024, he was saying that he hadn't even raised $1 million. He was well over $1 million in 2024. And we haven't even calculated for 2025 in terms of what he's reporting to the IRS. It's possible that he doesn't report anything to the IRS for 2025. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. All right. Okay, so I want to get that out the way just so for newer people here. Again, Umar, we covered the video yesterday where Umar was saying that this past Friday, renovations were complete. That would have meant that on January 16th of 2026, renovations were complete. But we also have Umar back in 2023 stating that renovations were complete. This was in August of 2023. Here you go. Johnson, he took his first FDMG Academy donation on April 14, 2014.
I want to say thank you to all my donors. Where are my donors at? How many of y'all been donating?
Oh, this is the wrong video. This is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I may just do it as a standalone video tomorrow. I don't want to give it away. All right, my bad. But here's the other video that I was referencing. This is what we covered yesterday.
So we on February 7th of 2019, and we've been renovating it since. February 7th of 2026 will be 7 years. This past Saturday, we completed all the renovations on the school. Why were we delayed so much? And I'm not even going to call it delay, because I believe in divine timing. If it didn't happen.
All right. So Umar specifically says that this past Friday, we completed renovations. But again, back in August of 2023, he stated that the renovations were complete. In fact, here's the video right here. This is from August. No, excuse me. It was August of 2023. Here we go.
I am proud and I am pleased to announce to you at this moment, Black August 11th of 2023. I'm live, King. Black August 11th of 2023. I'm on a live stream, King. I'm here for a minute, though. Swing back around. Okay, I got you. That we have finally completed all of the renovations for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan African Excellence. I'm going to say it again.
Okay, so this is August 11, 2023. Clearly, and I showed evidence of this, renovations were not complete in 2023. They were not complete in 2024. Clearly, and the video evidence shows that they weren't complete. The renovations weren't complete in 2025. And yet now Umar is saying just a couple of days ago that renovations were complete this past Friday, which would have been January 16th of 2026. Here it is again.
February 7th of 2019, and we've been renovating it since. February 7th of 2026 will be 7 years. This past Saturday, we completed all the renovations on the school.
See, that's what you call a lie. But I will propose that Umar Johnson still hasn't completed renovations. He lies all the time. It's amazing and remarkable how many times this guy, he just over and over again, he's a pathological liar. At this point, I'm starting to think he's a habitual liar because he lies about stuff that he doesn't even have to lie about. So I just want to set that precedence because when we watch this next video, I want to ask the question, why is it that Umar Johnson is outside in 20-degree weather in Wilmington, Delaware, in front of these abandoned buildings live streaming? If renovations are complete, critical question, if renovations are complete, wouldn't it make more sense for Umar to be inside of these abandoned buildings instead of outside in 20-degree weather? See, that really should be a poll question right there, right? Well, the truth of the matter is that Umar, he's painting himself into a corner now. He's lied about this so many times. So the next time he live streams inside, it has to show that renovations are complete. But renovations are not complete. They weren't complete back in 2023, even though he said that they were. They weren't complete in 2024, 2025, and they're not complete in 2026. That's why Umar's outside in 20-degree weather. I haven't watched the video yet. He looks bad. He looks bad. He's probably going to be begging for money. I told people winter's coming, and here we are. Okay? All right. So let's get going here. And everyone, again, thank you so much. Smart Barbie says, Lenon, I think you owe us an apology song for being late. Give us all you got. Put your back into it. Maybe I should write a song so every time I'm late, I'll play it to start. And somehow I'll turn it into FDMG's coming. I'll think about it, Smart Barbie. Right? I'll be trying my best, but I'm always doing something. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. CJ says, Umar, with his over-the-top dishonesty and hysterics, is simultaneously the worst stereotypical black man and woman. It's honestly kind of impressive. Yeah, I've been saying this about Umar in terms of these negative negative stereotype about black men, that he epitomizes all of the worst examples. Right? He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a business. Right? Nothing wrong with not having a job as long as you have a legitimate business, or both. You do both. Okay, he doesn't have a job, doesn't have a legitimate business. He doesn't even have his own vehicle at the age of 51. He's been homeless since 2019. He's 51. He lives off of his mama in Section 8 housing, right? He's always asking for money. He never gives to anybody. He's a deadbeat, doesn't take care of any of his kids, right? He's created at least 3 baby mamas, at least 3, and a 4th woman attempted to put him on child support, but was unsuccessful. He sexually exploits black women. He financially exploits the black community. He degrades black people and talks very poorly about black people. He shames black people at every turn. Right? He's disrespectful. Right? The list goes. He's emotionally unstable. Right? The list goes on and on with this guy. He epitomizes all the worst racial stereotypes. He's lazy. It's true. Now, the part about the woman, I'm not going to get into that one. We're not going to do him like that, okay, CJ? But I got you, okay? All right. But it's true. He really does. And everything that I've said there is actual and factual. I can pull up Umar Johnson's child support docket right now and show you that he has 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. And then there's a 4th woman there that attempted to put him on child support, but was unsuccessful. He doesn't claim that 3rd baby mama because he was in his early 40s when he impregnated her. She was in her early 20s. This is the kind of person a type of black man, if you want to call it that we're dealing with here. All right. Thank you, CJ, for super chat. Smoke Diggity became a member. Thank you so much, Smoke Diggity. Again, right after this live stream, we're going to get into this next segment of the document. I'm excited too. I've been okay. Thank you so much for becoming a member. What's up, Derek says, stop turning the heat down and all else may change. Yeah, that's true. I think that would probably be one of the most important things that Umar could do, because even in order to get his life turned around, because even if he doesn't do that, how is he going to be able to hold a job? If he doesn't do that, then how is he going to be able to get his own residence and be stable? And if he doesn't do that, I guess he can stop scamming, but see, he scams so that he can get the money in order to turn the heat down. Yeah. So, but I think that that's probably the best thing that Umar could do, like right now, to start to get things turned around, because he's in really bad shape. He's in really bad shape, and I recognize it. Okay. Thank you, Derek, for a super chat. I appreciate it. And then Dr. Umar is a Pookie says hello from Nuremberg, Germany. Wow. Okay. We have someone in here from Nuremberg. Shout out to Germany. Okay. Hey, listen, whatever. I'll tell anybody, wherever you may be on the planet. Okay. Shout out to Germany. All right. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, there is no school website. The closest thing that Umar Johnson had to a school website, it was called umarjohnsonschool.com, if memory serves me correctly. And it didn't have any like details about FDMG, like a board of directors, a plan that's outlined day to day what's going to be happening. No updates on donations or anything like that. There was a PayPal link on there. And at a certain point, he set it to where you have to have a code to access it. That's the closest thing that Umar has had to an actual website. He's never had an official FDMG website that was fully functional, that provided important information to people who were interested, to donors, people who may want to send their children there, a timeline, a proof of concept, a budget, none of that stuff, even a mission statement. None of that has ever existed. And here we are in 2026. He conceptualized FDMG back in 2004. 22 years later, he still doesn't have an FDMG website. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Francisca. Okay, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Shout out again to the North Pole. Someone said North Pole. They're in the North Pole. All right. So let's get into it. So this was just a couple of hours ago. Moon Over Manhattan became a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Manhattan. Here's the video. This is from a couple of hours ago. And again, today is January 20th of 2026. Let's go.
Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism, peace.
Yeah, he's fiending. He needs money. That's what this is. And I've researched and studied Umar and reported on Umar for years, and I know where he's at right now. He's fiending right now. Okay, he needs money. It's extremely likely that he's going to tell people to get on their PayPal, not because he needs the money to renovate, because clearly that's not what he's doing here, or to open up the school, whatever. Because he's fiending. Okay? I know this because I can tell. Again, like I said, I'm doing a whole documentary on this guy right now. The documentary is probably be close to 12 hours. I kid you not. How's it going, Asmar? Asmar says, how can Umar say renovation is complete when the mold and mildew is still there? Right. How can he say that the renovations are complete when windows are still boarded up? Okay, and see, he hasn't shown the inside in a while. And he's boxed himself into a corner. That's the point I wanted to make earlier, because now what is he going to do? He can't go inside because he lied about that the renovations were complete. See, renovations aren't, and see, they're not complete. Let's be clear about that. But renovations is not just what takes place on the outside. Renovations is also about what takes place on the it's not just what takes place on the inside. It's also about what takes place on the outside. And there's extreme mold remediation that needs to take place clearly on the outside, and yes, on the inside as well. And Umar, he knows that. See, he's already set up the narrative that the city is not going to give him his certificate of occupancy. That's his next excuse. He's been telegraphing that for years now. It's been about 2 years since been about 2 years. So he's already set up that narrative, and he repeats it over and over again as a form of mind control for his followers, so that when he gets to the point wherein he tells people that they did not give him a certificate of occupancy, it's already embedded into people's subconscious mind, and they're going to believe it. Umar probably won't even put in for a certificate of occupancy. Why would you do that when there's mold all over the place? But see, he's crafty. He's the great deceiver of our time. He's a master manipulator. He sets things up in advance, and he programs his followers subconsciously. It's mind control. So he'll say things like, yeah, they're probably not going to give me the certificate of occupancy. It's racism, and they're discriminating. They ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Anyone in their right mind can look at these buildings and say they're not going to pass inspection. The fact that he's had work that was done on these Bandos, these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, and it was done by people who were not licensed to do that work, and they didn't pull permits. That in and of itself is a fail. I mean, that's an automatic fail right there, because that's the first thing they're going to look at. They're going to look, okay, well, let's go look at the permits. So what Umar's preemptively, what Umar has done is he's already programmed his audience in advance to accept his version of events, his He's painted a narrative. It's a false narrative about what is taking place and what will take place. But he's telegraphing it in advance as a means of mind controlling his followers. So that when he finally tells people, hey, listen, they wouldn't give us our certificate of occupancy, they're going to be like, oh, here we go. It's discrimination. No, it ain't got nothing to do with it. He just told you all that. And he was telling you all that for a couple of years now. He already set that up. And then he's already set up this idea or notion that he's going to have to sue the city. And obviously he's going to need money to do that. So run in donations. He's also said we're going to have to march against the city. He's already set all this up way in advance. But if you look at these trap bandos with the mold and mildew alone, they're not passing inspection. He's not going to be able to get a certificate of occupancy. And what does that mean anyway? What's the point? Certificate of occupancy. See, it's always something with this guy. But I guarantee you, Asmar, he's going to continue to ask for donations. Watch. Mark my words. Thank you for the super chat. CJ says, could the Wilmington city government take him to court for talking reckless about them? Absolutely. They could have done that with what he did with the bills that were passed due and all the lies he was saying about talking about how they were discriminating against him and they wouldn't call him back and blah, blah, blah. They could take him to court for that. See, and who knows? See, Umar, let me explain something about Umar. Because again, like I said, I've researched this guy, I've studied this guy for many years. What happens with Umar, especially when money gets low, and his back is up against the wall, he has to come up with something outlandish that far outweighs what he said before. That's more fantastical. I should say it that way. Can I say it that way? He has to come up with something that's more fantastical than what he said before. And so what has happened over the years is that stuff gets so out of control over and over and over again to the point where what's the next fantastical thing, if I can use the term, fantastical thing that Umar can come up with? It's not true, but he has to outdo himself so that it's more believable. Because look, it's just this right here now what they're doing to me now, it has to be something way, way over the top. But see, what has happened is Umar, he's painted himself into such a corner because at a certain point, things have gotten so outlandish. When he comes out and talks about his bank accounts being frozen, people were like, wait a minute. That's way, way over the top. You know, that Lene hacked, shout out to Lene. Lene hacked his bank account. I hacked his bank account. I didn't have nothing to do with that. See, I could actually sue Umar for him saying something like that. Right. But I know that it's a lie. Most people who heard that was like, he's tripping. Right. Well, we go on our list, especially in 2025. Look how outlandish Umar became with all of these false narratives. Basically, he's a pathological liar. So at this point, see, he's already said that the city was discriminating against him and he's going to have to sue them. What's the next thing it has to be something grandiose. It's the narcissism. He can't just explain something and it just be a simple explanation. It has to be this grandiose story. The Archdiocese of Chicago called the Vatican and the Vatican said, what you talking about? What they call the Pope? And the Pope didn't want me to have that school in Chicago or Mount Vernon. You see what I'm saying? And so with Umar, it's gotten so far out of control that it's not just outlandishly outlandish. For a lot of people, it's just unbelievable. And what I mean by that is they don't believe it. And more people are waking up. Okay. Anyway, yeah, a city of Wilmington, they could have sued him for what he was saying before. And he's getting more and more reckless. And that's what happens with what he says. He gets more and more reckless, right? Okay. Thanks, CJ. All right, let's get going here. Again, he's outside. It's 20-degree weather. You can see FDMG. That's the prop. He always has that behind him, and he always tries to focus in on like the sign, the FDMG sign, or the mural, right? Or the doors that are painted, right? But clearly, renovations are not complete. Here we go.
Pan Africanism. It's your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatu.
Yeah, see him yelling. He's cold too. Part of this is his way of trying to warm himself up. He's going to be fidgety. He's going to be moving back and forth, hands in his pockets. He's out here in 20-degree weather, and I guarantee you, and I could be wrong, so let me not guarantee you, but it's highly likely that he's going to get up here and he's going to start begging for money. We're going to see.
Day, Ogunta Day, the Prince of Pan Africanism, King Kong
Here we go.
Consciousness, notorious RBG, and I'm in Wilmington, Delaware, getting the school ready for black boys everywhere. Happy Pan.
Okay, why would you be getting the school ready, Umar, when you just said that renovations were complete this past Friday? Here we go. This guy, oh man. Umar, this has to stop, bro. Okay, listen, You either stop scamming, stop turning the heat down, get a job, or get your own residence, or do all four. But this has to stop, bro. You just said, just a couple, we covered it yesterday. The video came out yesterday. You said renovations were complete. And you said the same thing in 2023, but you still getting the school ready for the, what is going on here with this guy? I know he watched the video from yesterday. Why would you do this? You know what I think? I think he's trolling me. Umar, okay, all right, you got me. You got me. I ain't tripping. I ain't even tripping, homie. I'm not tripping. He's trolling, family. Hit the one. He got me on that one. Yeah, Umar, you got me on that one. I'm not tripping, though. I'm not tripping. Boy, Umar, you a trip, boy. Let's keep going. This guy.
Pan African New Year. Happy Black Consciousness New Year. Happy Frederick Douglass New Year.
What are you talking about? Frederick Douglass New Year. Look at this guy, boy. Boy, I don't know. He fiending or he smoked out as one is. I don't know yet. Let's see.
I'm in the building. Make sure you hit your PayPal. PayPal.me/
spitting all over the place. And there he go with the PayPal. I told y'all. I think he's fiending really bad. So that's why he's trying to get that donation money coming in for the school for the plug.
FDMG Academy. Make sure you hit that PayPal. PayPal.me/ FDMG Academy. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my continental Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my European Africans.
Sit, Lord. Peace and Pan-Africanism. To my Africans in Texas. To my Africans, Atlanta Africans. Peace and Pan-African to my Minnesota Africans. Peace and Pan-African to my I can't even think of nothing. Someone had told me to do that. That's why I was trying to do it, but I can't do it. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's go.
Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Asian Africans, my Australian Africans, my Canadian Africans, my South American Africans, my Central American Africans, my Caribbean Africans,
here he go.
My 50-state
roll call
North American Africans.
My Greenland African, my Idaho. That's funny. My Idaho Africans. Someone said hot cocoa Tuesday. This poor guy. I be feeling bad for him sometimes. What's up, D. Will? I be feeling bad for him sometimes. Let's go.
Africans, my Texas Africans, my Jersey Africans, my Pennsylvania Africans, my St. Louis, my Nashville, my Knoxville, my Tennessee, my Chicago, my Detroit Africans. Where y'all at? My Mississippi Africans, my New Orleans Africans, my Baton Rouge, my
come on, cut it out.
Carolina, my Georgia, Atlanta Africans. Where my DC, my Baltimore, my Maryland, Eastern Shore Africans. Where my Connecticut, my Bronx, my Brooklyn, my Staten Island, my Harlem, my Long Islands, my Queens Africans.
You're right, Coco.
My Boston Africans and my Hartford, Connecticut Africans. This is your King Kong Consciousness, brothers and sisters. I got a little announcement. 2 announcements.
Here we go. I already can tell he needs money. He got to come up with something. He gonna come up with something. He always does. Latoya says we should start calling them that Bandos, short for abandoned BS buildings. Yeah. I mean, Umar really thinks that there are Latoya. There are people that believe in this. There are people that they'll see this and they'll see him with these shenanigans. And someone said earlier, it's all an act. It's all performative. And they said even him talking loud, that is part of the performance. And they're absolutely right. See, Umar is a very subdued dude. Like he's not, he can turn on the charisma, but under normal circumstances, he's very subdued, right? But he'll turn it on because he knows that this is a manipulative technique that, and ultimately he's going to use this to get people to donate to him. That's why he already shouted out his PayPal. See, that's what this is about. It's always been about this. People think that it was about opening up a school. No, not at all. But unfortunately, Latoya, there are people who really believe that he had intentions on opening up a school. No, he never had intention. It was all about money, getting money out of people. And even before that, he was running scams to get money out of people, going all the way back to at least the UNIA days, when he put in his resignation in 2005. So he's been at this for a very long time. The truth is that these buildings are classified as abandoned. They're on the vacant property list, right? In fact, if you guys look at the timeline for this. These buildings have been vacant now for a decade. It's about to be 7 years of Umar having them. They've been on the vacant property list. But prior to that, it was a little bit over 3 years that they were sitting vacant. So yeah, these are literally abandoned buildings, and they're BS too, by the way. Okay. Thank you, Latoya, for the super chat. Chastity Lee says, yelling in the cold, huffing and puffing. I don't know what to do. Yelling in the cold, huffing and puffing. The drug man coming though. Yeah, it's sad. It is. This is someone who's he's collected a bare minimum. That's why I'm saying it's amazing to me. He's collected a bare minimum $1,923,499 through 2024. And again, we're not counting 2025. We're not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. And people could argue, yeah, but what about that $700,000 that he claims that he spent to purchase? Yeah, we can look at that too. But see, what happens is if you guys do the research, and I still have to compile all this. I have it all outlined in my notes, but I have to compile it and put it into a timeline. And what I'm talking about putting into a timeline is on the financials when he's quoting how much money he's raised. See, in that other video that we covered yesterday, Umar, he lied too. He stated, we don't tell people, or I don't tell people, probably said I don't tell people how much money we've raised, so no one knows. Well, there's two things. One, that shows a lack of transparency. But the other thing is it shows that he's a liar, because there's been plenty of times in the past. He hasn't done it since 2020, but there were plenty of times prior to that where Umar gave figures on how much money he raised, including on the Breakfast Club, where he said he had raised $500,000. That was back in 2015, I believe. So what I'm going to do in the documentary, and really I need to, because I have it, I wrote it down as something I need to do even before we get the documentary done, which will probably be done once the school opens. I'm just sharing the rough draft right now. What I want to do even before that is to put together, based upon my notes, a series of clips that illustrate how much money Umar Johnson has raised, and then I'll archive it on the screen like I've done with this here, right? Okay, and this is donation money that Umar Johnson has received based upon his IRS filings from 2020 through 2024, right? Plus the he claims a $700,000 FDMG building purchase price, which I believe was a lot less than that, but that's what Umar Johnson says. He says around that amount, so that could be a little bit more, a little bit less. We'll go with 700,000. Again, no transparency. But the point that I want to get to here, Chastity, is that. The financial aspect of this is a problem, because if you track it, you'll see where Umar, the figures that he's given, there's times where the figure goes down, right? 3 years later, he's saying that I raised this amount of money, and that's 3 years after he said this other amount, and that other amount 3 years before was more than the amount that he says 3 years later. See, he's a con man. So that's why he's out here. I mean, the point I want to make is that the irony of all of this is that Umar's raised a bare minimum. That's a bare minimum, $1.9 million. It's probably closer to $3 million. It could be a little bit more than that. And yet he's out here huffing and puffing in the cold. Real quick, Umar doesn't even have an office. See, we were talking about the website earlier. Okay, let's just set that aside. Umar still doesn't have an office after holding these abandoned buildings hostage, because that's what he's done. Because what the EPA told the city to tear them down and then build a sports facility for the Boys and Girls Club. He takes that away from the children in that neighborhood, and he sits on these trapped bandos for 7 years. Well, it's about to be 7 years. I want to be fair. It'd be 7 years in about 2.5 weeks. Right. So we have these abandoned buildings, and if you guys go and look in 2019 when he acquired them and compare what they look like, I'm just talking about the exterior, what the exterior looked like back in 2019 and what the exterior looks like in 2026 or 2025 for that matter, way worse. In fact, it could be argued that the abandoned buildings on the interior, in some aspects, especially on the other side of the street where he hasn't done anything on that other side of the street, that's in worse condition. And I can state that as a fact. It's in worse condition on that side of the street than it was in 2026 and in 2025 than it was in 2019. Right. So what's the irony is this is a guy that's raised a bare minimum $1.9 million, and he's out here in the cold, 20-degree weather in wintertime, all bundled up, freezing cold. And he does his performance like he's been doing now. It's been, I don't even know how long it's been. He does his performance. It's all performative to get more money out of people. Why? To open up a school? No. Yeah. Anyway, Thanks, Chastity, for the super chat. I appreciate it. CJ also says, I've defeated enemies in Resident Evil that were less zombies than Umar. I used to love that. I'm talking about the old school Resident Evil when it was on PlayStation. I'm old. That's the one I used to play back. It used to scare. I used to be scared. I used to turn all the lights off. I get all into it. It was scary. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I always told people they could have really turned these abandoned buildings into like a set for a horror film. You know, they could have. I used to joke and say that that's what Thriller was filmed. They filmed Thriller up there. All right. Yeah, it's horrible. It's in horrible condition. It's in worse condition now than ever before. I want to say one other thing too, just to be clear about this, that we were talking about these stereotypes about Black men. Anyone, if you happen to see Umar, please do not assume that he's a representation of Black men. He's an accurate representation of Black men. He's not. Don't think that he's an accurate representation of Black fatherhood either, because he's not. And don't think that he's an accurate representation of Black leadership, because he's not, or Black excellence, because he's not, or Black fatherhood, good Lord, because he's not. That's one of the biggest problems with Umar. He's basically a zombie, a werewolf in Wilmington, who don't take care of his kids, doesn't want to work a job, doesn't want to commit to a woman, sexually exploits Black women, always begging for money. He's a bomb. He's a cyber bomb. And he has yet to learn that ultimately he has to be the one to change his life. But don't assume, please, people, don't assume that he's an accurate representation of Black people, because he's not. All right. Thank you, CJ, for a super chat. How's it going, Miranda? Miranda sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing all right. Okay. Mr. CLL says, Umar Johnson, doctor info. Why won't he expose those Black businesses that scammed him? It's because they don't exist. Mr. CLL is short for Marcel. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Marcel. Okay, yeah, he did. He's doxed my personal information quite a few times, including my home address. I've gotten death threats from. I had one recently. Last week, I got a death threat from I'm assuming it's an Umar Johnson follower. But I've had that over the years, and I've had people, go at my wife online and go after my children online, stalk my children online. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, I can sit up here for maybe a couple of hours, maybe an hour or two, and tell you story after. No, not 2 hours, maybe an hour, and tell you stories of the types of things that I've had to deal with. I'm not a victim though. Okay, it's just part of it that I've had to deal with since I've reported on Umar. And one of the things that Umar would do, especially back in the day, was he would dox my personal information, and then tell his followers to get at me. He doxed my home address. More recently, towards the end of last year, he doxed my wife's email and told his followers to. And a lot of his followers, they didn't appreciate that, especially the women. They didn't appreciate that at all, because it puts my wife in jeopardy. It puts my children in jeopardy too. But you see, if we were face to face, Umar wouldn't do shit. He'll bow his fucking head. That's what he would do. He's a coward. Yeah, you keep playing, homeboy. That would have been done talking about you long time ago, but you run your mouth and you reckless with it. But clearly, I'm not the one. Anyway, Marcel, the point I want to make here is, he would do that to me back in the day, and he did that to my wife too more recently. But he ain't gonna do shit. Real talk. If you guys understand what I'm saying, he ain't gonna do shit. But if in fact these so-called Black businesses or these Black contractors were scamming Umar for all of these years, for almost 7 years, why doesn't he expose them or share their business information or have his followers go at these people or dox their phone numbers? He got their phone numbers, right? Why doesn't he do all that? Because these so-called Black contractors that he's talking about, they weren't professional Black contractors, and the stories that he's coming up with are simply not true. And if they were true, what you do is you file a police report and you take them to court. Why didn't Umar do that? All right. Thanks, Marcel, for super chat. Heartbreaker from the Bronx says hazmats, masks, extra gloves, and extra pairs of sneakers or boots for those Bandos. Oh my. Yeah, you wouldn't catch me up in there. You wouldn't catch me up in there. And see, what's crazy is that if we go back to 2019, I can pull up video footage because he used to have people walking through. He has kids walking through there. Y'all remember that? He had kids walking through there, and there was no electricity back then. And it was a mildew smell, mold smell, because there was a young lady that was holding her nose. I kid you, I can pull it all up. That's going to be in the documentary for sure. One video, they go into, it's all dark, but they go in, they're walking around with their cell phones with the light on. And they go into this one room, and there's when I say a massive hole in the roof, you can look up and like see a blue. It's not just like this. I mean, it's like a big old, I can't even explain it. And then Umar's like, yeah, well, the HVAC is all intact. He lied about that. Those HVACs were stripped. I have drone footage of that. This guy lies all the time. The point is that even back then, no one should have been in there. Umar shouldn't even be up in there. See, the first thing that he should have done is deal with the mold and mildew. That's the first thing he should have dealt with. But and he still hasn't dealt with it to this day. So all the people that he's had in there, women and children, that's a no-no. That goes to show you what type of person he is. Because as men, you're supposed to be the primary protectors, right? You protect the women, you protect the children. Real talk, right? But not Umar. He had women up in there walking in the dark with shit all over the place, ceiling caved in, mildew smell, who knows, rats, rodents, ain't no telling. Roaches, come on now. And here we are we're in 2026 and we're about to be 7 years later and things are worse now than they were back in 2019. Yeah, he got some electricity on. Okay, great. On one side of the street. Okay, good. Allegedly, he got some water turned on. Okay, whoop-de-doo. But the mold situation, that's the primary thing, overwhelmingly. And that should have been taken care of back in 2019 when he acquired these trap Bandos. And real talk, Heartbreaker from the Bronx, he should have never purchased these shits in the first place. Why would you take $700,000 to purchase these trap Bandos that are mold infested in a crime infested neighborhood with drug addicts and homeless people all over the place? Real talk. The city of Wilmington was ranked 6th or 7th in the nation in 2018 for violent crime per capita. Why would you do some shit like that? You could have taken allegedly I don't think it's 700,000. I think it's closer to 400,000, but I'm going to go with what Umar said. We're going to go based on his words and IRS filings. Why would you take $700,000 and do that? Why wouldn't you just lease a building that's already ready to go and pay $500,000 a month, $600,000 a month, $700,000 a month, as opposed to taking $700,000 to these trap Bandos and ain't got shit to show for it almost 7 years later? Anyway, extra gloves, extra pair of sneakers, masks, hazmats, and whatever else, incense too. We got get sure you got your incense. Shout out to the Bronx. Thank you for the super chat. Xavier Logistics says, if Umar stays out in the cold for too long, will his accounts freeze again? Maybe that's what the problem. Well, the thing is that when his accounts froze the first time, we wasn't in winter. Okay, so we can't say that. That's funny though. But in this video, I looked it up, and James told me Umar out there in 20-degree weather. For what? To get money? To panhandle. That's what it comes down to. All right. Thank you, Xavier. KK says, Umar is such a dishonest man. I'm beginning to wonder if he was also a dishonest student. His rhetoric is so dangerous. Those degrees hold no weight. Okay, well, I agree that the degrees don't hold any weight because in practice, they're non-functional. Right? It's not like he's even working, right? And it's not like he applies what he learned while he was acquiring all these different degrees. It's not like he's applying it in the real world. Most of the time when he's talking about sex and crushing cookies and getting money, right? Yeah, and I agree. His rhetoric is very dangerous. It is. It's very dangerous, and it has been for a very long time. Dishonest student. Well, the thing is, I find it hard to believe that somehow Umar became dishonest after he graduates with his PsyD in 2012. You see what I'm saying? Because he was trying to scam the UNIA back in 2004, 2005. Again, I think Umar has had issues and problems. I think he's a sociopath. You know, he doesn't think rules and regulation and laws apply to him. That's why he thinks that if he has bills that have to be paid, he don't feel like he has to pay them. He's a sociopath. And he feels like he can talk his way out of stuff. He's a sociopath. He's a master manipulator. Talking is the manipulation part. So, no, I have a sense that he's been corrupted and he's been corrupt since childhood. That's what I think. That's how I said I believe, right? But what I can tell you, based upon my research, is that at least since 2004, he's been criminal-minded, and he's still criminal-minded today, right? So again, Umar, he goes into college in 1992, but he's trying to scam the UNIA in 2004. So it's highly likely that Umar was not an honest student, because he's never been an honest person, or I should say at least since 2004, right? Okay. Thank you, KK, for being a member for 17 months. Ward says, when Lenon adjusts himself in that seat, you know he means business. Did I do that? I don't even know. Maybe I did. I didn't mean to. Yeah, sometimes Umar, but see, I think Umar be trolling sometimes too. I think he does that on purpose, you know, because he's probably watching this right now. He'd be laughing along with us, I guarantee you. Not with everything, but he'd be laughing along with us because he knows that Umar knows that this is all, it's all foolishness. He knows what he's doing is foolishness. It's extremely entertaining. It's wrong. It needs to be called out. But if you see this guy with all of his shenanigans and lying all the time and all this, he's performative. Everything with this guy is performance-based. Nothing of substance. That's why when I ask you, Umar Johnson Pauls, give me 10 things that Umar Johnson has done of substance. You can't give me 10 things besides running his mouth. And don't say the books, because the books, there's no source material. Why do you have allegedly 6 degrees? He has 5, at most 5. He has at most 5. But we're going to go with Umar's lie. How do you have 6 degrees and you're a quote unquote doctor of psychology and you write 2 books and there's no source material whatsoever, credible or otherwise? See, but he's performative. That's why y'all can't give me 10 things that Umar Johnson has done that's substantive and meaningful outside of him running his mouth. Okay. The point that I'm getting at is I think that Umar, he knows that all of this is a bunch of foolishness, but he goes along with it because his objective ultimately is to get money out of people. And whatever he has to do to get money out of people, that's what he's going to do. The dope fiend, whatever they have to do to get money out of people, that's what they're going to do. Real talk. But I'll still think Umar be trolling me sometimes. Okay. Thanks, Ford, for a super chat. CJ also says Umar needs to film himself on a treadmill. Yeah. Well, the thing is that Umar, there's other underlying issues that he needs to take care of, because then no amount of exercise is going to help him with this turning of the heat down. I think that's the primary thing that he needs to get under control. Right? He needs to get into rehab, get into detox. Okay. And this is not just with different substances and prescription pills. Okay, but also any other substance. It could be alcohol or what have you, gin, and start there. That's what I think. Okay, and of course, yeah, he needs to take, and I need to take better care of myself too. Real talk, I'm tired right now. I should be taking a nap. But listen, a good crush that's undefeated. I'm here. All right. Anyway, his physical health it's been deteriorating for a long time, and he's in bad shape, and he has been for a very long time. A very long time. And I'm gonna tell you something, CJ. If people did the research, it's not that Umar was ever really, really fit. Okay. So, and I'm not saying that to be mean-spirited or disrespectful. That's not. I'm just saying, statement of fact. But what I can say is that Umar really began, his health really began to decline once that money started coming in for the St. Paul school scam. And what people don't realize is that a lot of his donors don't realize is that they've enabled Umar to self-destruct. They're not responsible for his self-destruction, but in their mind and in good faith, at least in their mind, in good faith, they believed that they were doing the right thing by supporting Umar. No, what happened was Umar used the bulk of the money that he's received, the vast majority, I should say, of the money that he's received, the majority of the money he's received, to self-destruct. And it's not just the turning of the heat down and the substance abuse, it's also for him to partake in all of these the sexual deviancy aspect too. That wears on the human body. I don't give a shit what anybody say. I've yet to meet one person who's benefited long term from living a sexually promiscuous lifestyle. I haven't met one person. I'm 50 now. So the money enabled Umar to partake in those types of things more and more, amongst other things, eating, binge eating, right? So anyway, you can track this. If you guys go and you do the research with Umar, you'll see that in 2014, 2015, 2016, you start to see the deterioration. And it's not because he's eating healthy or because he's taking care of himself. It's because he's received all this money and he's using the money to do things that are harmful to the body. Right? Okay. Thanks, CJ. Mr. Monica says, y'all are so right. Umar doxed people who criticized him, but he didn't dox the people he claimed ripped him off. Right. Absolutely. Umar supporters asked for the details of every company he claimed stole money. Yeah. Umar supporters should ask for the details of every company he claimed stole money from him or stole from the school or didn't finish the job. See, sue them. Yeah. But see, here's the thing. See, if all of this took place, there should have been some contracts signed, right? Unless there weren't contracts signed, right? But there should be. I'm talking about Umar if he was handling business as someone who was legitimately trying to open up a school or any type of a building. See, what he would have done, there would have been contracts in place for everyone who does work, and they should be licensed and bonded, and they should also go pull the permits, and everything should be on the up and up. And really, he should have had a general contractor from day one. And really, he should have had a general contractor lined up so that on day one, they can start with renovation work, but he didn't have any more money left over. So Umar has to create, y'all remember this, he has to create a false narrative about how he has to go and get, he has to find the blueprints because they got the blueprints. Guys, it's always something with this guy, right? So if these black contractors or whoever, if you're going to hire them and it's only Umar, it's no one else, then you have to be responsible for the outcome, but he never holds himself accountable. Furthermore, there should be contracts in place. And if those contracts are in place like they should be with any legitimate business operation, then if one person does not adhere to the contract, then you could sue them. You can go through the legal system in order to recoup money, right? But Umar never did that. And he hasn't done that. He sent me a cease and desist letter back in the day. Goofy ass. Umar, cut it out. You sure did. And I said, okay, well, it's time to ramp this up more. And here we are, all these years later. You goofy. See? So, but see, his critics, he will do little shit like that, but he ain't gonna, but the people who that's allegedly stealing from him and they not finishing the job, professionals, he ain't taking them to court. All right. Yeah. The Umar supporters, you should be asking for details on these so-called companies that stole his money or didn't finish the job or did a bad job or whatever Umar be saying. That's what y'all need to be doing. You also need to be asking Umar about where all this money went. As a bare minimum, $1,923,499. That's what y'all need to be doing. All right. Anyway, thanks, Mr. Monica, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Herschel Glover says Kelly's parents from Breaking 2 what? Kelly's parents from Breaking 2 donated in time to help Turbo and Ozone. Maybe I forgot about that. Boy, this is ridiculous. Kelly's parents from Breaking 2 donated in time to help Turbo and Ozone. Maybe they could save Umar today. I remember that. That's so funny. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. Thank you, Herschel. Shout out to Turbo. Rest in peace. I think the other guy passed recently too. So rest in peace to him too. Yeah. Turbo was better in my opinion. But anyway, thank you, Herschel. They wouldn't let Turbo talk. Now, that's wrong. Thank you, Herschel. Okay. Chanel van. Everybody on this live stream need to hit the like button. Hey, everyone on this live stream needs to hit the like button, including Umar. Hit the one. Y'all funny, boy. Cookie Crush chat is hilarious. Undefeated. Yeah, if y'all can hit that like, thank you, bro. If y'all can hit that like button, I appreciate it. We have 424 likes. Our goal is 500. We also have 1,215 votes so far. What is the best thing that Umar Johnson can do right now? 6% said get his own residence. 29% said get a job. 54% said stop scamming. 10% said stop turning the heat down. Okay, make sure you get your vote in. Thank you guys for hitting that one and for hitting that like button as well. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you for super chat, sir. And then I Am What I Am says wouldn't surprise me if Umar's had to face academic contact boards in the past. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. I do know this, and I'm not saying that he has, because I always want to be fair with Umar. I do know this because Umar talks about this. He actually, in 2 videos that I have archived and I've taken notes on, he talks about how they didn't want to give him. He got kicked out. I should say it this way: he got kicked out of PCOM. Did you guys know that? That's where he gets his PsyD. He got a master's there too. I think, yeah, he got 1 master's there. I think he got 1 master's there. Might be 2. Based upon what he said, but at least 1 master's there. But he gets a PsyD. Am I right about that? Did he get a master's? Yeah, I think so. I can pull it up in my notes. But he got kicked out. He was able to finagle him. That's why it took so long for him to get his PsyD, because he talks about that. They kicked him out. He was disruptive. What ends up happening is he's reinstated, and then by 2000, matter of fact, let me pull up my right quick. And he doesn't get his PsyD, and it's still a good it's great. I should say it this way. I shouldn't say good. It's a great accomplishment. Him acquiring all these degrees, and he doesn't have 6. He has at most 5. Okay, he's only shown 3 degrees. Right. So never take what Umar says at face value, and if he doesn't show a receipt, don't believe shit he say, because he lies all the time. He lies about renovations were complete in 2023, and he's lying in 2025 about 2026. So real quick, let me just give you guys this. He graduated from PCOM with the Master's of Science. So he had, at the age of 34 in 2008. He also, that same year, he graduates from Lehigh University with a Master's of Education in Educational Leadership. And then he graduates from PCOM in 2012. But he gets kicked out, and he's able to get back in. And he also talked about how they didn't want to give him the PsyD either. But what Umar, as he explains it, Umar was threatening them that he was going to go and claim racism, just like how he's talking about FDMG and discrimination, just like how he's talking about FDMG with the city of Wilmington. Well, that's what he was saying about PCOM, and that he told them that he was going to go to the press and it was going to turn into this big thing. It's going to reflect poorly on the school, on the PCOM. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but I have this all inside of my notes. And ultimately, they capitulated. One of the worst decisions that they could have ever made was to give this guy a PsyD, because he's weaponized it against Black people now since 2012. For 14 years, he's weaponized it, even though back in 2007, he was misrepresenting himself as a doctor. He didn't get his PsyD until 2012. I have this inside of the next segment of the documentary, right? And I should say that I don't have the original document. I'm still trying to find the original document. If I'm unable to find the original document that shows that, then I'm going to take that out of the final version of the documentary, because I'm always got to be fair. I want to make sure that everything that I share inside the documentary, that it's verified, right? And then if it's not, I will say that it's going to be very rarely that I'll say that I'm speculating or I believe. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised. Right? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, and then Mr. Altruistic says, I got hip to your channel about a month ago. Okay. Keep your foot on Tunde's neck, please, family. Yeah, I sure will. It's been a long journey, too, and I've talked about this. There was a time that it was very difficult to be a Umar Johnson critic, and it's not that it's easy now, because I got dead through it last week. It's still not easy, but it's not like how it was before. And part of the reason why is because there's so many more people over the years as they've woken up. There's more critics now than ever before. You know, more critics now than ever before, more people talking and criticizing Umar for different reasons, but in particular for this FDMG school scam than ever before. But back in the day, it was very difficult. You know, it was very, very difficult. But the thing is that Umar made a huge mistake when he doxed my personal information and told his followers to come see me, because he was trying to punk me. And that's the one thing. I'm not going to get punked by no man. I don't care who I don't care who it is. See, if you do right and you got respect, then I'm going to have respect. I'm always going to do right. But if you fucking up and you tripping, like Umar was tripping, okay, then let's go. See, Umar made a huge mistake. And that's why even to this day, he won't say my name. He'll call me Pastor Boosie and all this other gay stuff that he be talking about. Meanwhile, he the one up here at room one. Here I go. I had to get it in. He up here after 2 a.m. in room 130 with a metrosexual male doing his hair, washing his hair and scrubbing his hair and massaging his scalp, whatever the shit he was doing. And then stays the night and sleeps in the same bed with Umar. No diddy. Anyway, yeah, this foot's gonna stay on his neck, and my goal is to get this documentary done. And once it's done, I could probably at least not, do as much and get into the things that I've been already bought up, invested in all this other stuff that I was just sitting there. I ain't gonna say too much, but at least once the documentary is done, I'll have more time to get into the other stuff in terms of production. But in the meantime, yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Altruistic. I appreciate the super chat. Okay, let's get back into it. Everyone, shout out to everyone inside the Cookie Rest chat. Cookie Chat's undefeated. If you're enjoying the show, at any point you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. It only takes you about 2 seconds, but it makes a huge difference in the YouTube algorithm. It started January 1st, 2026. The YouTube algorithm has been tripping for everybody. All right, so that will help tremendously. All right, let's get back into it. Here we go.
2 announcements, brothers and sisters. I'm in the cold, but it's always hot with Leo Big Papa. I'm in the cold, but it's always hot. We got the full moon in Leo, full moon in Leo coming up next.
Here
Happy New Year, ladies. We got the full moon in Leo coming up next, so we're going to be celebrating that. You feel me? So everybody get ready. Is it the new moon in Leo or the full moon in Leo? I just know it's in my sign, so we're going to be doing that. But on February the 7th, brothers and sisters, on February the 7th, we will be making an announcement regarding the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. As you all know, February the 7th will be the centennial of Negro History Week, 100 years since Dr. Carter.
Yeah, by the way, I don't understand what is in it. Why do you have to make an announcement on February 7th? You just listen, anyway, let me just stop. I'll tell you all this, though. We will be live streaming. If he goes live on that day, we're going to cover it live. How about that? I think it's a Friday, but it is what it is. Yeah, I still got PTO. I'll do what I have to do. Let me look right here. Yep, it's a Friday, so I'll probably use PTO. and because I was planning on covering the video for the school announcement video anyway, so we might have to do a marathon on that Friday. But y'all ain't gonna be, y'all gonna be at work, so maybe I'll do a half day or something. I don't know. We can or wait to Saturday, maybe. Maybe we wait till Saturday, and then that way people be home. We got to figure that out, right? Anyway, no matter what, we are going to be getting it in, all right? But I don't know what you talk about in an announcement. All right, here we go.
G. Woodson created Negro History Week, so that's a very...
I think it's a Friday, isn't it? Let me see. February. Yeah, it's a Friday. February 6th is a Friday. Yeah. Anyway.
Monumental date for us as African people globally, but particularly Africans here in the North America.
Umar don't know what PTO is. He probably don't. I don't know. Let me stop.
American theater.
Let me not say what I think he probably think that is. Let's go.
On that date, which happens to also be the day that we purchased FDMG Academy, the 7th anniversary of FDMG, the 100th anniversary of Black History, I will be going live to make an announcement regarding the school. So that's number one. That's
Why don't
number
you just
one.
Make it now?
Make sure you join my Instagram. Make sure you join.
Why don't you just make it now? See, he's going to try to make money off. Watch. I already know.
My Instagram, brothers and sisters, for the FDMG announcement. I don't know if I'm going to make it public or if I'm going to make it private for my Instagram subscribers. So make sure you become a King Kong Consciousness Ifa Tunde Army Instagram subscriber at $9.99 a month. Mark your calendars.
Does anyone know, like, let's say if someone has an Instagram page and someone does videos for members, and then you sign up for membership, do you have access to all the older videos for members or only the most recent ones? Does anyone know? Because I know here on YouTube, there's literally hundreds of videos that if you sign up, even if you've never been a member before, you gain access to. But I wonder how that works on Instagram. If anyone knows, let me know. Otherwise, I'll research. It's no big deal. Okay.
Make sure you join my Instagram, brothers and sisters, for the FDMG announcement. I don't know if I'm going to make it public or if I'm going to make it private for my Instagram subscribers. So make sure you become a King Kong Consciousness Ifa Tunde Army Instagram subscriber at $9.99 a month. Mark your calendars.
Why does everybody keep saying February 7th is a Saturday when I go onto my calendar and I go to I see why. Wait a minute. No, I go to February of 2026. It's a Friday is on the 6th. Maybe you're in a different country. Maybe that's why. Right? Anyway, we'll figure it out. Maybe we just do it on Saturday either way.
For the February 7th FDMG update, right? That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I've been getting a lot of requests by brothers and sisters who want to be part of the Pan African book club, the Pan African.
And now right here on when I Googled it, February 7th is a Saturday. Why in the world? What's going on with my calendar? This kind of stuff disturbs me. Oh, wait a minute. No, there it go. Okay, yeah. So listen, everybody, what we'll do is we'll get together on the weekend, on that Saturday. Okay, we'll turn it into a marathon. All right. That's what we'll do. All right. So thank y'all. I was tripping because me with my mind, I was like, what in the world? Everybody keeps saying. I start thinking sci-fi. I'm in an alternate reality or some shit. That's how I'll be. Okay, let's go.
Can study group, the course of Pan Africanism. So this is what we're going to do right here.
A course on Pan Africanism. He used to do this back in the day. And this is what what's his name? Shout out to James too. This is what James was telling me in email. He was telling me that Umar, he's regurgitating old shit, and that's precisely what he's doing. Because he used to do these with Tiff the Griff and his the loyal donors, and they would pay a certain amount of money, and they would meet once a month for like 12 hours or some shit. And they would do the course on Pan Africanism. Most of those people aren't around anymore. In fact, let me show y'all how ridiculous this is. This was Umar. It was his birthday. Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, here we go, right here. He was trying to. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This guy's such a scammer. He was trying to scam these people that was participating in the Pan African course back then. These were his loyal supporters back in the day. Watch this.
We'd like to wish you happy birthday.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody.
Hey, this is August 17th of 2019.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to be with y'all all year long.
Yes, sir.
The year went too fast, but I got to know you all very well on a personal level, and it was great. I'll cherish this year. It was a very challenging year for me personally, but the class really gave me something to look forward to. It pulled me through the tough times, and of course, the acquisition of the school was a blessing as well.
Womp.
Thank you to all of you. And it's not the end. It's not the end. I just got to take some time to regroup a little bit and plot our next step.
Yes, sir.
Wow, we got 1,700 people in the building. Shout out to Cook Quartet's Undefeated. Thank you guys so much. Love y'all. I really do appreciate it. Okay, thank you. I just cannot reiterate this. Okay, I appreciate y'all. Let's go.
But to let you guys know, one of my immediate thoughts, and this is not etched in stone, it's just a thought.
Here he go.
But while I was in Africa, Hanira was there with us as well. We came across a chief, traditional ruler, and they have a program where they're trying to give away 5,000 free acres of land. Wow. But of course, you have to pay for the processing of the land, the surveying of the land, so forth.
So it's not free.
And so on. So I'm looking at purchasing several acres for the FDMG Africa campus, and I'm looking at having a select group of brothers and sisters who I trust to also match the amount of acres that FDMG purchases. So if
See this guy, he's trying to scam his loyal supporters. Watch this.
FDMG purchases 50, then the other brothers and sisters will purchase the other 50, so we would have 100 total. 50 under the control of the school and the other 50 under the control of our community, with myself as chief. And so
okay, if you're the chief, homeboy over in Africa, you're in control of the shit. You see this guy? He said 50 under the school, 50 under for us, but I'm the chief. So yeah, 50 for the school that you in control over, 50 for this over here in Africa for that you in control over. You're in control of 100%. This guy's a scam. He's such a scammer. And he ran this scam on it. These are his loyal. They put a birthday party together for this 45-year-old bum. That be what I'm saying? These guys was following Umar around and sitting with this funky ass in the thing. He talked about Pan African this and Pan African that for 12 hours. And they paid for it. It was a Pan African course back in 2019. And here we are, 2026. He's trying to pull that out his pocket again. How you gonna scam these people? Don't scam Tip the Griff. Don't do Tip the Griff. When you ready to come and spill the beans on Umar on my platform, you welcome to do so, sis. Okay? No hard feelings. No hard feelings at all. Umar did you wrong, did you dirty. He was trying to scam you right here. Let's go.
What I think I'm going to be doing is for all of you who are in this class, and then I'm going to look at the 6 different Africa trips that I had, and I'm going to select brothers and sisters who I...
He was over, that's them African freak-offs. That's what that was. He used to take them women over there that do that African freak-off, safari freak-off. That's what I called it. African safari freak-off. One time he had a monkey. Umar had a monkey on his back. I kid you, literally, figuratively. He had a monkey. That monkey, did y'all remember that monkey? That monkey was like, give me the banana, mother. Umar was trying to, because Umar was scared, but he didn't want to give up the, Umar greedy. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even give the monkey that. I kid you not, I can pull the video up. That poor monkey. Here we go.
Trust who accompanied me on those trips, such as Uncle Jeff and others. But I have to look through the list because it's been 6 years, so I don't want to leave nobody out. And so between the class and the brothers and sisters I select from the 6 different tours I've taken, we will make up that village that actually goes forward with the purchase of the land. Now, with you all having been in the course of Pan Africanism this whole year.
See this guy? Damn.
One of the reasons why I think we're going to continue our group study together is because when we do finally get the community in Africa, I'm going to need to trust some of you to orientate brothers and sisters on the continent to Pan-Africanism, to Garveyism, so they can be crystal clear on what it is we stand for, what we live for, what we die for. And the only way you'll be able to do that effectively and accurately is if you know the information. So all of this was not in vain. It was not just about you learning it. It's about your ability to turn around and teach it to other people. So that would be the next phase. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at doing. And that's going to be a very, very serious step. And I have to be able to trust you in order to make that step. Because we only get one time to make a good first impression in Africa.
All manipulation.
You don't get a second one. So there can't be no coonology in you, no nigritude, none of that. We got to go over there, with the right frame of mind and with the right energy. So that's what we're looking at. So we got the Delaware Project, obviously Wilmington, and then we got the Africa Project, right? And I need diehard Pan-Africanists to help push the program on both sides of the Atlantic.
You need the money.
But I need to announce that within the class, obviously, there's always an outstanding student.
Here he go.
In our class, the one person, and all of you did well, but the one person who really stood out in terms of their commitment and their seriousness and their presentation and their study and their academic excellence was Sister Sheila. And so in addition to
Tip the Griff was bad. Anyway, I should play more of this, but I'm going to leave it right there. Anyway, these people aren't around Umar like they used to be, at least most of them. But these were his diehard supporters from back in the day. I actually think this lady right here worked at, and I'm not sure, but I have an old video from way back in the day of the Moyer Academy. Wow, we got 1,800 people in here. Shout out to Google Chat. I have an old video of Moyer Academy. There's a woman that looks like this lady, but I'm not sure. And this is Sharon. She's been around a very long time. She's benefited a lot from the money that people have sent Umar for this FDMG school scam. And then that was let me let this play. Let me watch this.
So in this her place we fleshed it, weeps last, fleshed it, dances on bare feet in grass, love it hard.
What you talking about? Sharon, are you a rapper now? You rapping? What you talking about, girl? I don't mean to be like that, but come on now. What in the world? Let me see. Was she flowing? Hit the one.
So in this her place we fleshed it, weeps last, fleshed it, dances on bare feet in grass, love it hard.
What in the world you talking about? Did you say flush? Don't say nothing about no toilet now.
Toni Morrison recently transitioned into an elder, but she really captured Black life and what it meant to love us and be about us. And so with this course, I think my view of revolutionary Black figures and Pan Africanism has expanded in that it's not just like this militant figure that you think is just out here on the streets and using rhetoric to just rile things up, but as a people, we're collaborative, we're creative, we connect.
Umar, like, what this got to do with the money? he was like, listen, woman, what this got to do with my money?
We get it done. So that's kind of evidence of these beautiful people and beautiful minds that we've that you assembled. So I am not surprised, at where we are today in a sense of what you have, or what we are now witnessing as far as what you've invested in. You've been doing this for years, and being able to see you in a capacity different than just
what you talking about.
It's really a beautiful thing and something different that most people don't get to see. So you're ready, and you're varied. So I appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you for loving us hard, sacrificing hard, and just giving of yourself unselfishly.
Thank you.
One more thing. If he teach the children of FDMG and ADAG half as
See, here he goes. See, she had to get in the mix because she's always wanted Umar's attention like that. And so that one more thing. No. There ain't nobody asked you for all that, but she's trying to outdo Sharon. It's a big mess. It really is.
well as he taught us, as every graduating class.
Girl, cut it out.
Below the white supremacy, donate, please, because we have to do it for ourselves. Self-determination, Ashe.
Oh, powerful. Reality Chi-Town is in the building.
Powerful.
Oh my God. I just want to say thank you. I'm kind of emotional about this right now, but I just want to say thank you.
Oh, what you emotional about?
Thank you for being patient with us, for being understanding, for being.
See, these are the cult members right here.
One of the most impactful things that I learned in this session was Marcus Garvey was talking about self-actualization and the power in that. And that one particular thing has always resonated with me. And I feel like this is a door for me to self-actualization. So it's been a lot of sacrifices. It's been a lot.
All right. Anyway, this was the previous Pan-African course, whatever you call it. And then here's another example of these same.
Let me know what. One by one, quick little testimonial. And I'm going to put Felicia on first. What you think? Just say what you think.
All right, let me skip through. Because I think this is the one with what's her name. A lot of these people aren't around anymore. Yeah, this lady, she used to go to the African Safari Freak-Offs. This lady right here. And here she go. Let me go put her on because she getting on my nerves now. She tried to call Sister Marianne to try to, on behalf of Umar. Woman, if you don't stop. I knew you wasn't right back in the day.
I'm excited to see what comes out.
Thank you, Queen.
I said Komet from the
This the homie right here.
African American History Museum in Cleveland, and this place is amazing. This is what we can do when we organize. We are doing this. Everybody talk about it can't be done. We're here. We're in the school. I'm going to keep donating money. I'm going to keep helping. Dr. Johnson is the man who organized us.
Yeah, girl. You do that. Girl, you do that. I like that lady. And here she go. Here she go. I can't remember her name right now, but here she go.
Hi, everyone. Francis from Cleveland, Ohio. I just want this to be a testament to all the trolls, all the haters, all these CIA informants.
What? You doing too much. The troll and the hater, okay, yeah. But see, come on, don't do all that. Just doing too much. There's some of these women that be for Umar, y'all be doing too, y'all know what I mean? Y'all be doing too much. It's ridiculous. All right, let's go.
So online, trying to gander, hate.
Ain't nobody gandering nothing, okay? Ain't nobody geesing nothing. No geese, no gander, none of that. All right.
And ill feelings towards a visionary. And I want him to know that I love him, I respect him, and I appreciate all the personal sacrifices he's making for our children.
Oh, the children. I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw this, I felt something. I did. I felt a little something. But now, nah. Nope. You try to do Marianne Lawrence wrong? You ain't getting no sympathy from me, homegirl. And stop all the acting. You're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get the violin out. I'm tired of it. We need the music. We need the violins and the chorus singing in a minor key, something. All right. Anyway, just doing too much. So a lot of these people were part of that whole thing where Umar was teaching that Pan-African course. But then at that time, a lot of those people ain't around anymore, but a lot of them too, they would go over to Africa on these African safari freak-offs with Umar. And I have some video I'll just show. Then we get back to the main video. This here's where they was messing with some monkeys right here.
Popping and be like, all right, check this out.
Yeah, they were Umar over there.
Look, you go bend down and help them out. They
I ain't climbing up on your shoulder. No, you don't give it to them. You hold it first.
so they could come to your shoulder.
So they can come to you.
You let them come to you. You American know nothing about the monkey. They were over there. I think they were in Ghana. He was a Ghanaian guy was like, yeah, you don't know nothing. They let them come to you.
I was trying to get down so you can get up.
They know how to jump.
Listen, y'all, I ain't messing with no monkeys. I ain't messing with not one monkey.
Come on, boy. There's some more in here.
That's all it is.
Come on, boy. There's some more in here.
That's a girl.
Let me see if this is the one where Umar get that monkey on his back. No, this ain't that one. She over here playing dominoes and shit. Girl, you don't stop.
But when you go to
over here playing dominoes. Anyway, I have a whole bunch. Am I being mean? I know we're supposed to be focused on other stuff. I hope I'm not being mean. I feel like I'm being a little mean on this live stream. Yeah, so they would go over there. They would do these rituals and stuff, and you know, I was trying to find the one. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. This looked like some of that Nature Boy type of stuff. You guys know what I mean? All right. Anyway, so that's what Umar's talking about. He was talking about, well, he's talking about two things. One, the African safari, that's tied to, because a lot of those people, the freak off thing, they would go to Umar's course on Pan Africanism. Okay, let's get back on track. I apologize. I got a little blowed off, but that happens from time to time. Real quick, Herschel says I got that one earlier. Okay, I think I got that one too. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, Godzilla Princess says room 130. Ha ha ha. Appreciate you, Leonard. Keep going. I might have to catch the replay. Okay. But thank you so much for tuning on in, and thank you for being a mod to him and a member. Okay. I'll see you soon, sis. Black Wolf says this ninja looked like Will the wino right in front of the liquor store talking BS and begging for money to get a fifth of gin. Yeah, right. Can you spare some change? Yeah, and I've said this in the past, like if no one knew who Umar Johnson was and they happened to be, if they saw one of these videos or they happened to be walking by these abandoned buildings and he was outside looking like he's looking and just yelling and screaming into his phone, they would think that he's a dope fiend or a wino or someone who's mentally deranged. That's what they would think. See, but it's only because of Umar's crafted image over decades now that people believe that he's an actual school psychologist. A school psychologist wouldn't be out here begging for money like this all the time. They wouldn't be doing that. They would have a job and they would be stable. They wouldn't be transient. The Umar's all over the place, right? So yeah, and I've said this many times before. Umar is basically, he's a bum from Philly. Okay? In essence, that's what he is. Right? Thank you, Black Wolf. Shout out to Black Wolf. I am what I am says. Scrub daddy jokes are low hanging fruit at LenonHonor Films. Way more substantive issues to drag him for. Just saying, yeah, but I can do whatever I want to, though. Okay. Listen, I've been covering Umar now for a long time, and I've put in a lot of time. If I want to talk about scrub daddy jokes, I sure can. I sure can. And I don't really care what you think one way or the other. Right? Real talk. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, though. Yeah, I just want people to be clear about something. Don't think and don't be so arrogant to think that you can dictate to me what I talk about on my show. See, because the truth of the matter is that if you never came back, I wouldn't miss you. Make sense? All right, something for you to think about. But thanks for the super chat. I do appreciate the super chat. But stay in your lane. I'll say it that way. Right. Again, people. I don't. That's one thing I don't get about the internet. Okay. People assume that they can dictate to other people what they talk about. No. I'll talk about what I want to, however I want to. And if I want to bring up jokes about room 130, I'll do it. Okay. It's that simple. All right. Thank you for super chat again. Franklin says, it's sad that he's been talking about this school since my late 20s. My 47th birthday was on the 8th. This guy is disappointing and disgusting. Yeah, so you're saying 27 years. So if we go back to this receipt, this right here is 2010. This is 16 years right here. If we go back to 2004, when he conceptualized this project, that's 22 years, right? Yeah. So what you're saying is that you're but you're late 20s. Okay, late 20s. So let's just say round up to 30, so 17 years. Yeah. That fits in the timeline. And amazingly, not one black child has been educated. He's been talking about this for a very long time. Not one black child has been educated. In fact, even at these abandoned buildings in 2026, Umar hasn't finished renovating one room to completion. Not one, after almost 7 years. Okay. Yeah, it's a disappointment. And then all the money he's raised, it's just a waste. Okay. Thank you, Franklin, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Soggy says, different angle. Umar suckered the living shit out of folks. There's a quote by P.T. Barnum, there's a sucker born every day. Yeah, and you know, I think that there are people that they didn't see it for what it was, and they believed, and they wanted to believe in Umar. That's the thing. Belief is a very powerful thing. There are people who wanted to believe in Umar, and it doesn't matter what he does, they're still going to believe in him, right? But what happens is that time always tells the truth, and if people were honest, I'm talking about intellectually honest about what has transpired with Umar Johnson, the school scam, and not just a school scam, but even in his own personal life, they would realize that he's not someone that is worth believing in. So the question becomes, why did they believe in him? Well, is it because they're fools? Well, I don't want to say that. I would say that, yeah, there's probably some people that maybe, you know, they may lack intellectual aptitude that's necessary, which I don't think is much to recognize Umar for who he is, but we've all been fooled by people. I've been fooled by people. Hey, here's what it is. It happens. I just think that what Umar has done over the decades is, as a master manipulator, is that he shaped and molded people's perceptions of him. Umar is all about a perception. It's about how other people see him. And so that's why it's all performative. He gets into a performance because he wants people to see him a particular way. What has happened over the years, though, is he's gotten more and more egregious with it, to where now when he gets into the mode of his performative mode, it's not a good look. Back in the day, when he would dress in suits and ties, he can get away with that stuff. You know, when he would keep his hair cut nice and you know, look presentable, right? He can get away with that. But these days, he can't. You know, things have deteriorated in his life to such a degree that he can't keep up the illusion. So there are people who can see him for who he truly is much more easier now than people were able to back in the day. Right? Thank you, Saki, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Embrace Change says, did you hear he was caught trying to bring monkey meat from Africa through Chicago airport? No. You're joking. Okay. They helped Hanera get a house in Wilmington. Yeah, I don't know about Hanera getting a house in Wilmington, but I do know this, that she's tied in to the school scam to a degree because of the financial aspect of this. So if Umar was ever truly audited, and let's say in court, I'm sure that they would be able to track money. And well, let me say it this way, okay? I believe that they would be able to track money, and that some of this money would be going towards her, right? Whether that is directly to her here in the United States of America or over to Africa, all right? I believe, right? I'll say it that way. Anyway, yeah, monkey me. That's crazy. Thank you, Embrace Change, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Brandon says his followers sound like they're in love with him. Yeah, well, Tiff the Griff wanted his attention more than anything else, but he didn't like her. He didn't like her, and he didn't treat her all that well either. But she used to go to bat for him. She used to send him money, donations all the time, and she would attack people who would criticize Umar. She doesn't do that these days, and hasn't for some time now. Yeah. Thank you, Brandon, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Andy gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Andy. And Mert gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Mert. I appreciate it. We need to get going here. L Love says, Lenon, you do you. I'm here for you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the thing. I got to say it again. I've been at this for a very long time. And there's people who say things like, well, you don't let the video play. Okay, well, if you want to go watch the video in full without interruption, go to Umar's Instagram page. Just that simple. See, if I can get 1,000 people inside my chat room and do it consistently, we have a good time, it's fun. I have a good time. Are there things that I could improve? Yeah, but this is my model and I'm sticking to it. It's been very, very effective. There's people who have other ways of doing things, but they're not getting the type, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant, they're not getting the types of views that I get when I cover Umar. Well, there's a reason why. I have a technique, I have a strategy, and I've been at this for a very long time, and I built an audience for a very long time. But whether you've been here for a week or you've been here for 4 or 5 years, okay, you're not going to dictate to me how I run my channel. And if you don't like it, okay, well, that's fine. There's all kind of other stuff you can do than watch me on YouTube. There's all types of stuff, right? Anyway, thank you, L Love. And I think that that's fair, okay? Black Wolf gifted a membership too. Thank you so much, Black Wolf. And then D Will says, speak your speech, Lenon. They don't realize you put your time in and dealt with a lot of BS from Umar and his minions. Absolutely. Most people don't realize that. Lenon making a few 130 jokes is bad. You must haven't met the Cookie Crush chat. Yeah. Okay. And I will continue to make jokes about whatever I want to make jokes about. And sometimes I do take things, whatever I want to make jokes about. And sometimes I take things too far, but it's just part of the show, right? This is not just about sitting here and watching Umar Johnson videos, clearly, right? We've gotten through like maybe, 3 minutes of the main video, and we've been live streaming for 1 hour and 32 minutes, right? So that's how we do things. And like I said before, 2 things. If you don't like it, then you have other options. Like we all have choices. But the other thing is, people, please do not believe that and be so arrogant to think that you can dictate to me what I'm going to do on YouTube or how I run my show. I think it's quite ridiculous, right? It sounds like something Umar would do. Real talk, not to be like that. Okay, but I'm not the one. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna do me. Thank you, D Will, for a super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's get going. Clock it, Lenon. All right, do you, my brother? Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks, TJ. Okay, let's get going here because we got to get going because we way behind. Here we go.
I am announcing right now my Dr. Umar Instagram subscribers family is now the Dr. Umar Black Psychology and Pan Africanism Traveling Book Club. I'm going to say it again.
Traveling Book Club? What are you talking about? This guy just making up anything. Thank you. I appreciate that. He just coming up with whatever he can to get money out of people.
I'm going to say it again. 2026, I'm kicking off the new year with a book club. It's the Dr. Umar King Kong Consciousness, Black Psychology, and Pan-Africanism Book Club. You have to subscribe to my Instagram to be in the book club. Every month we...
Yes, what he's trying to do is to get people to sign up for his Instagram because the money's running low for everything else, including FDMG. Right. Furthermore, he's trying to take my advice when I advised him that he should monetize on Instagram, but this isn't the way to do it. You don't make up any old shit, just to try to get money out of people. Or that's not how you do this. Then you posting all kind of shit throughout the day, ridiculous shit that's worthless. No, it don't work that way. But anyway, that's why Umar is doing this. He's just trying to figure out any kind of way to get money out of people because people ain't sending him money for this FDMG school scam like they used to. His CashApp got shut down. His GoFundMe got shut down. His first PayPal account got shut down. His what was it? The Plum Fund got shut down. And all he's left with at this point is the PayPal.
We'll be reading a new book together. We will be meeting at least 3 times a year. Let me say it again. We will be meeting.
Why would they pay for that so that you meet 3 times a year? This is ridiculous.
Meeting at least 3 times a year to discuss the book in person. We're going to discuss the book.
All right, this is stupid, Umar. You're going to travel to some place 3 times a year, and then they got to travel too? This is so stupid. Yeah, he did. He be listening, but he doesn't understand the internet. He doesn't understand social media. That's why when he does his live streams, I mean, he be getting 300, 400 people in there. And he got over 1 million followers on Instagram. That's what I call a social media desert. You can hang it up. Ain't even no point. Let's go.
Book online, subscribers only every month. But every
that's what he said, 3 times a year.
Or at least 3 times a year, there will be a private meetup for members of the book club who want to meet with Dr. Umar and talk about the book and issues surrounding that book in a private location, at a hotel somewhere, at a retreat somewhere, at a supersized Airbnb mansion somewhere.
A what? A supersized Airbnb mansion? Here we go. This guy, he tripping. You want to turn these book sessions into a freak-off session.
With food and music and chatting and chewing. So that's what we're doing, brothers and sisters. So if you want to be a part of the Dr. Umar Book Club, the Black Psychology and Pan Africanism Book Club, you got to subscribe to my Instagram. So what's going to be the first book? The first book for the new Dr. Umar Book Club, which is only open to Instagram subscribers, $9.99 a month. The first book is...
Listen, Umar, this isn't going to work, and I don't know how much money Instagram takes out. Let me ask AI. This ain't gonna work, homeboy. Oh no! Well, the good thing is Instagram says it takes 0 revenue share, meaning creators keep 100% of subscription earnings. But Apple and Google charge. Oh, so if they use Apple and Google, so Apple and Google charge a standard 30% fee is in-app purchases. Well, that's good that they don't take any. Instagram at least doesn't. But in terms of platform fees, it could be a 30% deducted by Apple and Google, Android, for transactions made with their app stores. Within their app stores is the primary fee. Yeah, so they do take something out. It's just Instagram itself doesn't take anything out. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Umar, this if you want to call it a business model, it's not gonna work because you would have to totally revamp how you operate on Instagram. I ain't gonna give you no ideas because that's the reason why you're doing this anyway. Because I told you that you need to monetize because you was talking shit about how you get all these views. What's the point of getting all these views if you're not monetized? So you post shit over and over and over again on your Instagram page. It's like you're throwing shit out there for people to look at, but then you want to have something on the side for them to get into for $9 a month. Well, if you're posting shit all the time, this is useless, and they can go and maybe they want to watch or look at the shit. Why would they want to pay $9 a month so that they can be part of a book club now? Come on, you got to do better than that. This is not the way. I'm just letting you know right now, Umar. See, and if you wasn't a scammer and scheming and doing all this stuff, and you wasn't a person that's out here, pillaging the Black community like you, I would give you advice and help you out. But I can't do it. Anyway, let's go.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro. Since this is the centennial of Black History Month, it's only right that we begin with a book written by the father of Black History Month. I said since February is Black History Month, the 100th anniversary, the centennial of Negro History Week, it's only right that the first book for the Dr. Umar Book Club honors the great ancestor who brought us Negro History Week. So if you don't have a copy of...
There you go.
If you don't have a copy of Miseducation of the Negro...
This guy don't even got a tripod. This is I'm so tired of this.
You need to go and get it. If you don't have a copy of Miseducation of the Negro, you need to go and get it. If you don't have a copy of Miseducation of the Negro, you need to go and get it, brothers and sisters. You can also get Miseducation of the Negro on audiobook. You can also get Miseducation of the Negro on audiobook if you rather listen to it on audiobook, or you can get the physical book. Okay, but that's the first book. So for February 2026, we are reading Dr. Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro.
He just coming up with anything.
And I will be posting the dates that I'll be going live, Instagram subscribers only, to talk about the book, questions and answers, and conversation.
Yeah, Umar, this ain't gonna work. I can already tell you. I feel bad for you because you really just you're trying to get money out of people. You're out here, you're cold, live streaming in 20-degree weather. You claimed that renovations were done this past Friday, but you also said that they were done back in I think it was August of 2023. I think it was August, but it was in 2023. And if renovations were done, you would be inside just to keep warm. And obviously, if renovations are complete, the HVAC system should work too, and you should have things all set up nice, right? But you can't even do that. You're out here looking like a homeless person, and you're trying to figure out any kind of way to get money. But you've been doing this for such a long time. It's sad at this point. There's all kinds of things you said you were going to do, and you told people to send money, and you don't do it. You ain't figured it out yet. That's why you're still stuck where you're at. You're hard-headed. Real talk. Okay. Let me do some of these super chats real quick because I'm got behind. Yeah, I got that one there. Thanks so much, TJ. Miss Veronica says, salute, Lenon. Just want to show my support. You're definitely a real one. Respect. Okay, I appreciate that. And like I don't mean to belabor this, but listen, I've put in a lot of time, more than anyone else, in terms of reporting on Umar. The amount of I've done more research offline than I have in terms of I've spent more time researching Umar offline, meaning not compared to. How should I say this? I've done more spent more time researching Umar than I have being online, live streaming. So, part of what I'm saying is put some respect on my name. That's part of what I'm saying. And I don't want to be like that. I really don't. But it'd be different if it was someone who's put in that type of work. And I've made a lot of sacrifices. And I'm not trying to get the strings out and all this stuff. I just want people to be clear about something. At my age and with what I've done, what I've sacrificed, and the amount of time that I put in, put some fucking respect on my name. That's all I'm saying. And I think that that's fair. Yeah, I'm not yelling at you. And I'm not just talking to the person who sent that earlier. I'm just saying in general, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not disparaging you. Because we all have options. So just take another option if you don't like whatever. And even if you don't like it, it's not necessary to verbalize it because it really doesn't matter in the bigger scheme of things. See, but the arrogance, you have to be arrogant to think that you can dictate to someone what they should be doing on their YouTube page. And I'm fairly successful on YouTube, but even setting that aside, I've made a lot of sacrifice and I've spent a lot of time, and I still got to finish this documentary. The amount of time just working on the documentary. Way more than the amount of time that I live stream. So put some respect on my name. That's all. I think it's the right thing to do. And I don't think I'm being arrogant to say that because I put respect on people's names too. Right? I'm not going to disrespect people, but don't be arrogant and don't disrespect me because that's disrespect. Just because you sent in a super chat don't mean you can say whatever you want to. I mean, you can. I appreciate the super chat, but don't think that it's meaningful. That's all I'm saying. It's about respect at the end of the day. All right. Thank you, Ms. Vernica. I appreciate it. Libra says, I don't get why watch something that you're not into weird behavior. Yeah, this is something, I don't have an answer for that. I don't, because I still get messages from time to time, not like I used to, because this is a different phase in this whole Umar Johnson saga. But there was a time when I would get all kinds of messages and people complaining about me, doing videos on Umar. I don't really get that like I used to, but there are still people. It comes down to, okay, well, if you don't enjoy the show, why tune in? If you don't like something, it's not necessary for you to verbalize it to me. It's not necessary. Again, like I said, if I can get 1,000 people, right now we got 700 people in here. If I can get 700 people in here, we're having a good time. And you want to complain about something? Okay, that's more about you than the other 1,700 or 1,718 people that's in the chat room. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, it is what it is. It's a lesson, real quick. It's a lesson for everyone because I like, philosophically speaking, I like to operate in the world with the spirit of appreciation. That's what I call it. And sometimes you can choose to not be appreciative. But if you look at what is happening in front of you or what's happening in your life, there are things to be appreciative of. There's no need to downgrade things or to criticize things. Just be appreciative, and people should be appreciative. I'm appreciative of people who show up and support the channel. Well, people should be appreciative of the effort and the amount of time and the sacrifices that I've made to do these Umar Johnson videos. Right? That's all. So have the spirit of appreciation. And if you don't, and you choose not to, just remain silent. Right? That's perfectly fine. Okay. Thank you, Libra Beauty. What's up, Kadar says, there's another sister that came out. Lene posted her. What's your email, Lenon? It's LenonHonor at yahoo.com. But I don't respond to emails like I used to because I've been so overwhelmed and I'm behind on emails now. It's probably about 4 or 5 months. I kid you not. There are specific people that I look for in my emails when they send me messages, and I'll check those. But for the most part, I just don't have time, especially last year when after Lene came out, the amount of emails that I get. So I don't want people to think that I'm being rude either. If I don't respond, I respond when I can, when I have the time, but I don't have the time like I just don't, so I will when I can. But I'm familiar with the system. And what I told people who had emailed me, because I don't reach out to people to ask them to come on to the show. What I told people who emailed me about this was that I was aware of this, and that if that woman ever wants to come on to my platform and share her story, she's welcome to do so. Okay, if she's comfortable, she's welcome to do so. Okay, thanks, Kadar, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Latoya says, Dr. Umar's Brotherhood of the Traveling Dashiki Book Club, literally free cost. Yeah, that's what it is, because what Umar's trying to say, that's why he mentions the mansion and all this other stuff. Umar, this is a way for him to get money, but then also to gain access to women to have sex with. But that's been his MO for a long time. That's nothing extraordinary with Umar. And that's why he's basically regurgitating what he was doing before. See, before it was the Pan African Book Club or the Pan African studies or whatever, but he finagled that into the African Safari Freak Off. Okay, so this is another iteration of it. It's just all these years later because he's trying to find ways to get money and to get sex. That's all it comes down to. Yeah. And I don't get it. I don't see why Umar hasn't figured this out. That's a horrible way to live. And your life, it's gone to shit anyway. So why don't you do something different? Okay, anyway, I can't call it. Thanks, Latoya. J6 says the IRS has a book club. Yes, real, that's right. The IRS has a book club. Also, no fee is required. You right about that. Thank you, J6. Miranda says, we have your back, man. Brother Malik said the work Umar Johnson had done should be notated in a contractor notebook by licensed contractor. FDMG ain't coming. Yeah, and Umar should have had a general contractor to start. There's other people who've talked about this. This isn't my expertise, but obviously this is Brother Malik's expertise. But even back in the day, there are people talking. He should have just hired a general contractor. He should have had a general contractor on deck prior to him actually acquiring these abandoned buildings. Say, listen, we're in negotiations. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but I just want to, secure you as a general contractor, so that if we do acquire this, we can hit the floor running day one, right? February 6th of 2019. He didn't do that. And here we are almost 7 years later, and not one room has been renovated to completion. Even though Umar said that the completion was done in 2023, and then now he said this last Friday in 2026. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, all that. See, that's what I'm saying. That if Umar was about the business, there should be paperwork to back up everything that he's saying. But that's the big thing about Umar. You never see Umar provide any paperwork to back up what he's saying. Think about that. He's supposed to be a scholar, but he doesn't have any paperwork to back up anything that he says, ever. He throws figures out there. Okay, where's the source for that? He says the purchase price was around $700,000. Where's the paperwork for $700,000? If renovations are complete, where's the paperwork for all of that? He doesn't have any of that. See, he says he's a school psychologist. Well, there should be some paperwork for that, right? List goes on and on and on. But that's Umar, right? Thanks, Miranda, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Megan Thomas says, Lenon, if Umar wanted to come on the show and explain and defend himself, would you let him? I absolutely would. Thank you for your live stream. And thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want people to feel like, I'm being mean-spirited. I hope I'm not coming off that way. It's just at my age and with what I've put in and the sacrifices that and again, I've been blessed. You guys have blessed me. So I'm a spirit of appreciation. Thank you guys so much. All right, on God. Thank you guys so much. But it's a respect thing. You know, it's a respect thing. Now, if Umar wanted to come on to the live stream, would I have him on? Absolutely. Whenever he's ready, we can debate FDMG. Is FDMG a scam or not? Would he do it? No, because he's a coward. Would he do it? No, because truth be told, Umar is my intellectual inferior. Okay, just because someone can speak well and has the gift of gab and can turn that switch on, that's what narcissists, most narcissists are able to turn that switch to charisma, doesn't mean that they're intelligent. That they're coming from a vantage point of someone who is thinking critically about things. See, Umar thinks in terms of, he's predatory. That's not intelligence. You guys understand what I'm saying? He's crafty, he's manipulative, he's shady, but he's my intellectual inferior. He doesn't know how to research. He doesn't know how to put together a logic string to where things make sense over time. He can't do it. He has the gift of gab. He knows how to arouse emotions in people, but that's not intelligence. Let me show y'all something right quick. Intelligence is broadly defined as the capacity for learning, reasoning, understanding, problem solving. Umar can't solve problems. And adapting to new situations. Umar is a creature of habit, involving skills like abstract thinking, logic, and applying knowledge effectively for survival and achieving goals. Umar can't apply knowledge effectively for achieving and for survival and achieving goals. That's why he's homeless. He's been homeless since 2019. That's not intelligence. See, it has to be practical. It has to have a purpose that can benefit you over time and benefit those around you over time. But Umar can't do that. While often linked to human cognition, it's also studied in animals and artificial systems, encompassing the ability to acquire, use, and retain information for adaptive behavior. And again, the key word is adaptive behavior, to be able to adapt. Umar, he hasn't been able to adapt. His life has gotten worse and worse and worse. Now, can he memorize numbers? Yes. Can he memorize certain things? Yeah. He has that skill set. He can talk. At least back in the day, he was really good. He was a really good orator. He's still a good orator, but not like how he used to be. He's fallen off. But in terms of using it, whatever skill set that is associated with intelligence, is he able to use that for the purpose of adaptive behavior to where he can adapt to situations so that the outcome could be something positive? And the answer is no. That's why he's homeless at the age of 51. That's why he's living off of his mama at the age of 51. That's why he's smoked out at the age of 51. That's why he's a deadbeat daddy at the age of 51. That's why he goes on these rants about his baby mamas at the age of 51. He goes on a rant about his daughter at the age of 51. He doesn't know how to adapt. See, that's not intelligence. Well, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay. Anyway, and then he said, "Thank you for the live stream." You're so welcome. Thanks, Meg Thomas. I appreciate it. Jay Civic says, IRS book club, no fees. I got that one earlier. Smart Barbie gifted a membership. Thank you so much. We got to get going here because I actually got to be up off of here in about an hour. Why isn't the book club being held at FDMG? Great question. Very logical. Live long and prosper. If renovations are complete, why doesn't Umar have this book club at FDMG? That's some good shit right there. The Xenoflex. That's really good right there. That's intelligence right there. Critical question. If renovations are complete, that's why I love the critical chat. We goof off too, but this right here is good. If FDMG was complete, the renovations were complete this past Friday, why isn't the book club being held at FDMG? I'll wait. Thank you to Xenoflex. That's awesome. All right. And Brace Change says, I personally think Hanera is in deeper than what it seems. I also believe that that's how he got the money to pay Mary Ann in the city. The house is true. Okay. And again, I don't know about the house, so I can't speak to that. If anyone has receipts and they want to send it to me, I can look into it and investigate. Is it possible that she's into this deeper? It's possible, but I haven't researched her, in all fairness. It's possible. And yeah, is it possible? Again, I'm not saying this as a statement of fact. This is just something that you're mentioning here. because that's one of the questions that we had. Where did Umar come up with this money to pay Mary Hand? Well, it's possible that Umar has been funneling money over to Africa. And Hanera was over in Africa too for a while, right? She may be part of it. She may be. I don't know, right? And so that when Umar really needs to have money like in the immediate, he figures out a way to get that money brought back to him. Okay, now that would be a form of embezzlement too. See, Umar, if the feds really went after Umar, embezzlement would be an issue. Tax evasion would be another issue, right? And who knows how many people are involved in this FDMG school scam. It's been going on for a very long time, but Hanera was around been around for a very long time. And like I said, I haven't researched her, so I can't speak to any of this. Okay, but it is possible, right? Thanks, Embrace Change. Black Wolf says, Umar ain't slick. A book club sounds ridiculous at his age, but Umar trying to get at youngins with this book club BS. Mold and Bold book club with Umar. Here's the other thing too. It's a traveling book club, according to Umar, but they're going to meet on Instagram, I guess. Well, it's 2026, Umar. If people want to read a book, most people, they'll just get an audio book and listen to it. I shouldn't say most. Many people will get an audio book and listen to it, or they'll get a PDF and read it that way. But I think what Umar is thinking, like there's physical books and we're going to be meeting 3 times a year at a specific location, because for him, everything has to be brick and mortar as opposed to like really, truly virtual. See, I think this whole idea about the Instagram, I think he's just using that as a funnel to get money out of people. But everything else, it doesn't appear as if this is a digital endeavor, that it is a brick and mortar endeavor. But Umar is so behind in time. This is 2026. That's what I'm saying. This ain't going to work, but he has to figure out some way to get money out of people. And that's what he's doing. But that's what he always do. You know that. All right, thanks, Black Wolf. Binky, what's up, Binky? Says been a member for 17 months. Thank you, Binky. Mr. Altruistic says, terrible Tunde, shake my damn head. Sad, and his supporters are some goofies like him, respectfully. I'm not gonna call them goofies. Now there may be some that might be a little goofy, but I ain't gonna say all of them. I ain't gonna do them like that. It's just that it's been going on for so long. You would think that people would figure it out, including his supporters. And the truth is that there are a lot of his supporters. They figured it out, and that's great. That's great. And more people will figure it out over time. And I'll propose that Umar, his support base, especially when it comes to FDMG, that's dwindled. He's not getting the type of support for that. He don't even talk much about FDMG. Furthermore, the type of money that he was getting back in the day, he's not getting that type of money. And he knows that. That's why he has to figure out other ways to try to get money out of people, including a fake phony book club. That's ridiculous, right? Umar, what you need to do is focus on getting your own residence, right? It reminds me, real quick, I apologize. It reminds me when Umar was talking about, he's supposed to be renovating these abandoned buildings, but he's talking about how he wants to go to every single state and do these black parent trainings or whatever. Y'all remember this? I think it was during COVID too. What are you talking about COVID? People are supposed to be staying home and not supposed to social distance, but he's planning. Y'all remember this? Hit the one. He's planning all this stuff. It's a total distraction from what the mission was to open up these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. But that's the thing. He was never interested in opening up the Bandos. Okay, anyway, thanks, Mr. Altruistic. Rhea baby 18 says 3 times a year. It don't take 4 months to read. I didn't even think about that. You're right. 3 times a year. It don't take 4 months to read a book unless you're reading the Bible cover to cover. Amen. He just pulling anything out of his mouth. I didn't even think about that. Every 4 months? It don't even make sense. It's not meant to make sense. It's just a way for Umar to get more people to send him $9 a month. And I'm gonna tell you what happens. There's gonna be people that's gonna sign up. It's gonna be a few people, not a lot. And Umar's not going to deliver. He may deliver once or twice, but he's not going to deliver consistently. Just like with the Big Papa podcast, just like Umar Johnson .tv, and just like his documentary is supposed to premiere fall of 2014. He gets the money and he don't produce. Well, that's what's going to happen with this. I guarantee it. Right? Thank you, Rhea, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Biggie says, Lenon, do your thing. I'll be in the bushes enjoying the show. All right. Okay, thank you, Biggie. That's one thing about the Quick Crush chat. People be talking shit. They be like, nah, blood. We got your back, blood. All right, I appreciate it. Shout out to the Quick Crush chat. Thank you, Biggie. What's up, Seth? Says fire dumb, HVAC dumb, sprinkles yum, burgers well done, all systems dumb. I remember Umar was saying, he said, fire system done, HVAC done, sprinklers done, burgers done, hot sauce done, chicken McNuggets done. I said, all right, Umar. I said, all right. Anyway, and here we are. Shout out to Seth. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Okay, I got to be up out here in about an hour, and we got to get it going on this video. We ain't even halfway through. Thanks, Seth. JCSU says no videos of FDMG being completed. Yeah, that's another thing. If renovations are complete, why didn't Umar show that? Well, because they're not complete. He's painted himself into a corner. He can't even go up in there now. See, Umar, you ain't. But that's what happens when you lie all the time and you be scamming. That's what happened. That's why you're where you're at. You can't even go up in there and live stream, because as soon as you do, people are like, oh, wait a minute, stuff's not renovated. What are you talking about? Just like in 2023, same thing. All right. But real quick, one can ask the question, why did Umar lie about it then? And whether it's 2023 or here in 2026, why did he lie about it? Well, it's the same reason, because he wants to get money out of people. He wants to keep the scam going. So he'll tell people whatever he can tell them, the illusion of progress, in order for them to keep sending him money and get excited, and people fall for it, right? It's that simple. Right? Thank you, Jay Civic. Sharif says, book number 1, The Little Hairdresser. The first book we're going to read, family, is The Little Hairdresser That Could. The second book is The Chronicles of Room 130. I saw someone put that in there earlier. All right. What's the third book? Y'all no, let's not do that, because we got to get going here. Thank you, Sharif. Y Must says, bro, Lenon, if Umar was a serious human, he would be inside with a team of partners demonstrating the completedness of FDMG and addressing material issues of the lawsuit. Yeah. Not hawking a book club. Yeah, it goes to show you that Umar doesn't handle basic business. The lawsuit is a major issue, because it could potentially open up the floodgates for other people, hundreds, if not thousands of people, to come forward to ask for a refund and do it legally. He's facing a class action lawsuit from his donors, even though he tells people that he's in contact with his donors and he updates them. No, you don't. Cut it out, because they wouldn't be suing your ass. That's a much more pressing issue. I think that's probably the most pressing issue right now dealing with Umar, is that. But you don't hear him demonstrating, that it's serious, or that's what he should be focusing on. No, he's coming up with another book club scam. But that's Umar. And then the other part, you're right. He should be inside with a team, but he has no team. And the other thing, though, is that if he went inside, people will see the video forensics, and it will show clearly that renovations are not complete. And then it's another lie, right? Yeah. Anyway. He's not serious about opening up a school. Real talk, I don't even think Umar's serious about his life. How could he be? All of this he's done this for such a long time, and it hasn't clicked in his mind that it's just not working, right? But he's in survival mode. He's just trying to get his next fix. He's smoked out and has been for many years now, and that's the life that he lives. And anything that he can do to get money out of people, that's what he's going to do, right? Thank you, Y Must. For super chat. Okay, and then Sa says, do you foresee a tell-all where he admits the grift? No, I don't. And the reason why is because of the narcissism. It's so deeply ingrained in Umar, and it's a psychological, it's a personality disorder. And Umar, he's never been able to admit when he's wrong. And the other thing is he doesn't feel remorse for anything. So I mean, he's a sociopath. He doesn't have normal human feelings, like, if you're doing the wrong thing, that you feel some sort of way about it. That's not Umar, because he wouldn't be doing all this stuff, and we've all made mistakes, and then we'll reflect back and say, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I should have did this, or I should. And we feel remorse, and we feel sadness sometimes, right? Shame, right? Guilt, whatever. But Umar doesn't, because if he did, he wouldn't continue to do what he's doing, because he ain't changed nothing. See? And we've all made mistakes, all of us. So no, I don't think that Umar will ever get to a point where he admits that this was a scam, because of narcissism, and a lot of this is tied into his ego. He has a huge ego, and to admit that would be crushing to his ego. It would be extremely crazy. And then you get the what they call the narcissistic injury or something to that effect, right? His disorder won't even allow him to admit that this is nothing more than a scam, because that means that his ego is going to have to take the hit, right? Okay, thanks, Al, for super chat. By the way, I do bring up Sa Netter in the next segment of the documentary, which was supposed to start that 20 minutes ago. We ain't gonna get to it. We're gonna have to do it tomorrow. I apologize to members. I have it queued up right here, just so people don't think I'm bullshit. Look.
Chapter 8, J. Moyer Academy opens. Rough draft. Reverend Maurice J. Moyer was born on August 8, 1918 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. From 1960 through 1964, he served as president of the Wilmington, Delaware branch of the NAACP. He also marched with Martin Luther King, Jr. He founded the first Black Presbyterian church in Delaware and served as the church's pastor for 46 years. In August 2006, the Maurice J. Moyer Academy opened in Wilmington, Delaware.
The Maurice J. Moyer Academy is named after Reverend Moyer, who founded Community Presbyterian Church in the late 50s, of course. Very prominent civil rights leader in the 60s. We chose Reverend Moyer, given the fact that our theme of the school is health, science, and technology. Reverend Moyer being a pastor, therefore he's a healer. And we thought it would be fitting to name the school after him. Also, Reverend Moyer, as he grew his congregation over the years, was very much involved in the community with children. With that, we have a school that the configuration would be 6th through 12th grade. We're starting with 6th, 7th, and 9th grade this year. Next grade year, we're at 8th and 10th.
The Maurice J. Moyer Academy was a tuition-free charter school, and the students who attended were from an impoverished community. The academy itself was dependent on volunteer participation.
We're located in an urban community. Much of our population come from low socioeconomic background. Therefore, we need school assistants to assist us in monitoring the school climate. We need volunteer tutors. We need volunteer substitute teachers. We have a uniform school, so therefore, many of our students cannot keep the
See, by the way, and when I play this whole thing, it's 44 minutes long. So I just want to play just a little bit of it just to kind of give a sample. I apologize to members. We're just going to run out of time. But if you listen carefully to what he says, and there's other videos too with this gentleman and other people talking about the Moyer Academy, you'll realize very quickly that Umar, a lot of his ideas about what he's going to do with FDMG is sourced from what they did with the Moyer Academy. Right? It's amazing when you really get deep into this.
Their uniforms up to par, first, and secondly, many of our students cannot properly purchase sufficient number of uniforms. So we need money for that also at this point in time.
As stated before, the students who attended Maurice J. Moyer Academy were from an impoverished community. Originally, the Maurice J. Moyer Academy was located on Vanderveer Avenue. Students were taught in modular classrooms.
And I'm just panning the room here. The Maurice Moyer Academy at the moment is set up on Vanderveer Avenue in Wilmington. And these are modular classrooms, but there are extensive architectural plans to expand the school and move it to another location.
While the Maurice J. Moyer Academy opened on Vanderveer Avenue in 2006, it ultimately changed location to 610, 611, and 601 East 17th Street. Plans were made to purchase and renovate existing buildings located on 17th Street. The largest of those buildings was previously owned by Hercules, Inc. Hercules, Inc. was a chemical business that manufactured chemicals and munitions. Chapter 9.
All right. It's 44 minutes altogether, and we just got into like maybe the first 3.5, 4 minutes of it. But you see the research? And understand, people, I'm putting this documentary. I've been working on it for, I don't know, it's been close to 2 years now. I was hoping to premiere it this past at the middle of this past year, middle of 2025. But I have a whole lot more work to get through, and it's a deep undertaking. It really is, and I have not asked for a dime for it either. That's what I'm saying. People, please, you got to put some respect on my name. That's all I ask. You know, I'm not asking for anything other than that. Just have respect. All right. And if I want to come on here and have some enjoyment with the Cookie Crush chat, I have a right to that. And I know, I'm not even gonna say I believe, I know that I'm deserving of that, because I spend more time offline working on this documentary than I do online for free. I'm not making any money off of that. Didn't ask for a dime. And something like this has never been done before, where you have someone who has reported on an individual exclusively, report on an individual for this amount of time, and then goes through the process of putting together a documentary of this person's whole life. And does not ask for any type of financial support or anything like that. Is that fair to expect just to have a level of respect? Listen, when I get up on here, I'm going to have fun because I deserve it. And I'm going to have fun because the Cookie Crush chat is hilarious. And I'm going to joke about what I want to joke about. Okay. So I just want to reiterate that because just in finding what I found dealing with the J. Moyer Academy, there's a whole lot more, because what we're just talking about when Moyer Academy initially starts. Okay. It closes at a certain point, then it opens again, and then it closes again. There's a whole lot more dealing with the Moyer Academy that I'll share. But just that research alone, matter of fact, that research, a lot of that research, I did that research back in 2020. Yeah, towards the end of 2020, early 2021. Right? Okay. And I hope I'm not coming off as you know, I don't know. Okay. I just want people to understand I've put in a lot of time, and more time not live streaming into this documentary and researching and editing and you know, getting audio clips and doing voiceovers and, you know, finding pictures and images. I've spent way more time doing that than I have online, and I could be online during that time making money. All right, so please, people, and I'm not saying this to everyone because most of y'all, you know, you guys have been fair with me, but all I'm asking is to be fair and have some respect, right? Anyway, members, we'll get to that tomorrow for sure. That'll be the main thing for tomorrow, and we'll watch the whole thing together. I'll do a brief introduction. We'll watch the whole thing together, and then at the end of it, we'll talk and chit chat inside the chat room. Okay. All right. Real quick, let me get to. There's so many super chats. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of the support. Mr. Conspiracy says, Lenon, you don't know, but I'm telling you now. I'm doing a documentary on you that I'm fit to drop called Watching Lenon's Watching Lenon's Pockets, covering 2016 to now. Listen, it wasn't much in the pocket back then, to be honest with you. I was a broke bub, you know. But that's what I'm saying. We have to hold ourselves accountable and do better and work hard, right? And you know, the blessings will come. But we got to make changes. And see, that's the thing about Umar. That's part of the tragedy. He hasn't figured that out yet. He's 51 years old. Okay, again, I didn't figure it out until much later too. Okay, so let's be clear about that. I'm not saying that my situation was as bad as Umar, because I don't want to overstate it. But I do know that I recognize that I had to make some serious changes, and I have, you know, and I still got a long way to go. And I have to every day remind myself to be patient, and then not to be, like we were talking about this, to be ultra critical, because it's not good for my mental health. You know, I thank God that I've been blessed in different ways. And when you put in the work and you make the changes, you know, you will be blessed, you know, and real talk, Miss Conservation, I want that for Umar. I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, I don't. And that's the sad part about it. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, he's 51. He still has time, but he's so deep into the narcissism and, his lifestyle, which is extremely toxic. I don't think he ever will. Anyway, thank you, Miss Controversy. Make sure you include your super chat when you count in my pockets. All right. Sa also says, admit to spin it into a new grip. Oh, you're talking about, okay, so do you foresee a tell-all where he admits turning, I guess, FDMG into a new grift? No, I don't see that either. The thing is that Umar, the FDMG, if you want to call it a grift, I call it a scam. But if you want to call it a grift, it's something that is it's not new, right? What he's done is he's repurposed it. It's what we call, it's an iteration. It's just iteration after iteration after iteration. The foundation, the fundamentals are the same, because this goes back to the days when he was in the UNIA, when he was trying to scam them for a building fund to do renovations, right? For a 3-story building. So this goes way back to at least to 2005, really 2005, 2004. Okay. And matter of fact, that resignation letter is not online anymore. For some reason, that website is down. At least the last time I checked, but I have all the screenshots of that. But the point is that the idea of the FDMG school scam, what has happened over the years is that Umar has just repurposed it into another school scam. He just changes the name. The Chicago school scam, the New York the New York school scam, the Atlanta school scam, the school scam in Ghana. We covered that a little bit earlier, right? School scam in Los Angeles area. Really, it's Riverside County school scam, and the list goes on and on. Florida, right? The list goes on and on and on. But it's all the same. If you want to call it a grift, it's all the same grift. He just repurposes it over time. That's why you get different iterations of it. And the most recent iteration is the one that we're talking about these days, and that's the same. Excuse me, that's the previous one. This would be the and St. Paul's not even the previous one. This would be the Wilmington, Delaware school scam. Right, but that's not the St. Paul school scam. That's not the previous one, because there was the St. Paul school scam, but then he gives up on that, and then he starts continuing to go around to different states and different cities, talking about how he's going to open up schools in all these different places, Chicago, Detroit. The list goes on and on and on. Right. So no, I don't think he will ever admit it, because again, it would be a form of admission that would really hurt his ego, and then that's tied to the narcissism, and that's a narcissistic injury. Right. Okay. Thanks, Al. Let's see. Nick says Lenon is Umar's arch nemesis. I wouldn't say that. I would. Well, maybe I am. No, I wouldn't say that. I think that Umar's role in the Black community is what it is, and I know that my mission, or one of my missions, I should say, is to tell the truth and speak truth to power about what Umar is doing. That's all. And I do a very good job at it, I have to say. Okay. Now I sound like Umar, but I do. But it's because I've been at this for a very long time, and I have the research in order. Again, if I'm researching the Moyer Academy for a documentary about Umar, okay, that goes to show you I'm about the business. Thank you, Nick, for the super chat. I appreciate it. JCSU said, follow the money. Yeah, again, like I said, I have this right here. This is the updated. I have a video for this. I may just upload it tomorrow with all of these updated figures. And the total donations raised at the end of 2024 is $1,923,499. And this is provable. I can prove this in court easily. And we're not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, or 2025. All right. Thank you, Jay Civic. Ms. Conspiracy says, you don't have to... Why you got to use that word? You don't have to explain, Lenon, do you? Yeah, I will. It's all good. Thank you, Ms. Conspiracy. But I think it needs to be said today, because I especially when I'm working on this documentary amount of time, people just have to be more understanding. And anyway, I don't want to rehash. Thank you, Ms. Conspiracy. And then TJ says, don't give the naysayers any of your time, do you? Yeah. But again, it's an opportunity to teach lessons. And really what it is it's just people, life is better when you have the spirit of appreciation, right? That's something that I'm really big on. All right, we got to get going here because I only have like less than an hour. Real quick, we have 1,914 votes. The poll question is, what is the best thing that Umar Johnson can do right now? 6% said get his own residence, 31% said get a job, 54% said stop scamming, and 9% said stop turning the heat. Now, make sure you get your vote in before we close out this live stream. We have over 800 likes. So thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. If at any point you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. As a matter of fact, if you guys are watching this after it's archived on YouTube, leave a comment down below and hit that like button too if you enjoy the like. Okay, all right. Anyway, let's get going here. Thanks for all the super chats, everybody. I appreciate it. Here we go.
And I'm working on the first meetup, the first physical meetup for the Black Consciousness, Black Psychology, Pan Africanism book club. So if you want to get down with Dr. Umar, this is
he just making this up.
How you get down with Dr. Umar. Now I want to tell you this. You never have to come to the physical meetups. If you just want to be a part of the book club through Instagram and you never want to come to a physical meetup, no problem. But if you come to the physical meetup, you will be given a test.
This is ridiculous. I mean, this guy was sitting in Mama closet thinking and figuring this out. That's ridiculous.
On the books read to that date. So if we doing one book a month and we meeting once every 3 months, you're going to have 3 books that you're going to be quizzed on. Now, listen up closely.
Okay.
If you fail the quiz, you cannot come to the next meetup, but you can come to the meetup after that. If you fail 2 quizzes in the same year, you cannot attend any meetups the next calendar year at all. I'm going to say it again. I hope y'all listening. I'm going to say it again. I hope y'all listening. Listen to the rules of the book club. Listen to the rules of the book club. I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
You can always participate online. You can always participate online. You can always participate on Instagram with the book club as long as you subscribe. But if you physically come and you fail the quiz, you cannot come to the next meetup. You can come to the meetup after the next meetup.
What in the world? This is ridiculous, Umar. Is this the best thing you can come up with?
Happy New Year, young prince. Happy New Year, king. If you fail in the flesh, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Talk to the people, young guy.
Oh, let me. I don't want to have this young man on here, so let me skip through. All right, here we go.
You could come to the meet up after that. If you fail 2 quizzes in the same year, you cannot come to any more meetups that year or the entire following.
Umar, aren't you supposed to be opening up a school for black boys as opposed to having a book club for old black people? Come on, man.
Following year. Why am I doing this? To discourage people from showing up to the private meetups for the book club who did not read. We're not coming together to socialize. We're coming together to learn and raise consciousness. We're not coming together to socialize. We're coming together to learn and raise consciousness. If you don't do the readings, which means you failed the quiz, I don't want to see you no more until you get yourself together. Do you understand? So that's how we're going to discourage people from coming to the meetups just to socialize who are not reading the books. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me?
Yeah.
King Kong consciousness.
Okay.
So the first book is Miseducation of the Negro. I got like 5 copies of it. I'm going to pull out my copy and refresh myself with the lessons of Dr.
You got 5 copies. Cut it out. Well, you always exaggerate. I thought your book collection was destroyed too in the gym. Anyway.
Carter G. Woodson. And get ready to teach. Put my professor hat on. Because I'm getting ready to teach when we open up the doors of that school you see right there. When we open up the doors of that school you see right there. Yes, brothers and sisters, 2026 energy, Pan Africanism, we in the building.
So are you saying that it's going to open now in 2026? Is that what he's saying? Hit the 1. If he's not saying that, hit the 2. I don't know.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. If you need to reach me, open up the doors of that school you see right there. Got like 5 copies of it. I'm going to pull out my copy and refresh myself with the lessons of Dr. Carter G. Woodson. And get ready to teach. Put my professor hat on because I'm getting ready to teach when we open up the doors of that school you see right there.
You right, Kev.
When we open up the doors of that school you see right there. Yes, brothers and sisters, 2026 energy, Pan Africanism.
It's kind of like he's alluding to 2026, but not really. So I'm going to say no.
Africanism, we in the building. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. If you need to reach me, you know the number 215-989-9858, 215-989. Text message me if you need to reach me, 215-989-9858. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Does the book club cost money? I don't think you listen too well. I just told you the way you sign up for the book club is by subscribing to Dr. Umar's Instagram. That's how you join the book club. My Instagram club is now officially a book club. You join.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, Umar. What in the world?
The book club by joining my Instagram. $9.99 a month. That's the fee to be a part of the monthly book club. Make sure you hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG.
Yep, someone just called it. There you go.
Academy. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Mail them checks some money orders. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809.
Oh, he got in the car. I'm looking over here. I'm distracted. Let me see.
809.
Yeah, you see how he got all his clothes in the back seat? He's so homeless. Damn. Y'all see that? Hit the 1. Hit the one. There's an old video. I remember he had a blanket and stuff back there. Looked like he had a blanket and a pillow.
809.
Yeah, it's bad, y'all. It's bad. Y'all see that? I'll be feeling bad for him sometimes, but
809.
again, if this is how you live in Umar and you raised the bare minimum of $1,923,499, something's wrong with you. I'm talking about mentally. Something's wrong with you, homeboy. Real talk. Yeah, it's sad. Mm-hmm. How's it going, El Diva?
So, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, sweetie.
I just wanted to drop that on y'all. That
Yeah, this guy. I mean, he got stuff pop. It ain't like he just got like a sweater back there. He got stuff piled back there.
So, brothers and sisters.
Man, that's crazy. You see that? It's up to the back window.
Sisters, I just wanted to drop that on y'all.
That's a pillow back there. It looked like a pillow to me. Y'all see that? It's the white part of the pillow. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. It looked like a pillow. You see the white and then a black pillowcase. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Yeah, it's man. I kind of feel bad for the guy.
So, brothers and sisters, I just wanted to drop that on.
Yeah, that's a pillow, y'all. Because you can see it on both sides.
Y'all, that February 7th, I'll be going live with the FDMG announcement.
Yeah, someone said it looks like a sleeping bag. I think the other side is a sleep. It looks like a sleeping bag, but this side right here looks like a pillow. Again, I could be wrong. Okay, so you might be right. Let me go one more time. Yeah, you're right. It could be a comforter. Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, I just
Oh, I thought my wife was calling me.
wanted to drop that on y'all.
Yeah, you're right. It looks more like a comforter, so I'll take that back. I don't think it's a pillow.
That February 7th, I'll be going live with the FDMG announcement. I love you too, baby.
Yeah, we will cover that, everybody.
I love all my beautiful African sisters. We're all my beautiful African sisters who ride with Dr. Umar. Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. We're all my Ghanaian queens, my Nigerian queens, my
There you go.
Somali queens.
Yeah, we got 1,700 people in the building. We're almost done, too. Everyone, thank you guys so much, and thank you for being patient. Now, again, I want to apologize to members. We will get to that video tomorrow. I have it all ready to go. We have 1,990 votes. Let's see if we can get 10 more votes to get to 2,000. What is the best thing Umar Johnson can do right now? 6% said get his own residence. 31% said get a job. 54% said stop scamming. 9% said stop turning the heat down. And we have over 840 likes. Okay, let's see if we can get to 900 before we get up out of here. Here we go.
My Ethiopian queens, my South African queens, my
Here he go, roll call.
Gambian queens, my Congolese queens, my Basutu queens. Where are my Angolan queens and my Madagascar queens? Where my Cote d'Ivoire queens?
Yeah, now it looks like a pillow now. Now, I don't know what it is. To be honest with you, I don't know. It's just you got a gang of stuff stacked up back there.
Oh, yes. We're my Guinea-Bissau queens and my Burkina Faso queens. We're my Jamaican queens and my Haitian queens and my Guadeloupean queens and my St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, St. Lucia queens. We're my Costa Rica, my Panama, my Brazil.
Yeah, it does look like a blanket or a comforter.
Brazil queens at? Where are all my queens, my Texas and my Philly, my Jersey, my Delaware queens? Where my Toronto queens and my Montreal queens? And
You
where
doing too
are
much, Umar.
my Australian queens? I love my queens. Oh, yes. Butter almond,
Here he
butter
go.
pecan,
Here he
sweet
go.
brown sugar,
Here you
agave,
go. Agave, warm salt, hot fudge, warm peanut butter,
nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
Oh, yes. Hot syrup.
What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, he said hot syrup. This guy, I ain't gonna lie, Crystal. I like that one. I don't know, something about the jalapeno. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Man, did you get you a jalapeno, queen? I don't know. There's something about that. It's very alluring. All right. Okay, well, we're getting into room 130 territory. Let's move on. This is crazy. Y'all could cut that undefeated. Let's go.
We're my mixed race white chocolate queens. We're my extra light.
What in the world? This guy, you tripping,
White
Umar?
chocolate queens, my African vanilla, my
white chocolate. Oh my God.
Pina colada. Oh yes. 5'5", thick in the thighs. Call me Mr. 5'5", thick in the thighs, brothers and sisters. We in the building.
Why would you want people to? You a grown man. What you want people to call you, Mr. 5'5", thick boy? Here we go, room 130.
The all natural queens at? We're the queens with the all natural hair. No straightening comb, no perms, no wigs, no weaves. We're the natural queens at? We're the Cinnabon-licious queens at? I said, we're the Cinnabon. Let me behave. We must stay focused, brothers. Man. We must stay focused. FDMG is almost ready. We must stay focused.
I thought you said the renovations were complete last Friday.
Brothers, it is consciousness over the cookies.
Here
it is politics over the punani. It is revolution over the romance. It is business.
Back in the day, he was saying business before back shots, and we called him out on it, and then he stopped saying it. He started saying business before, I don't know, something else, whatever he say right here.
Before the bedroom.
Yeah, business before the bedroom. But back in the day, he was saying business before back shots, and we were clowning him about it. It's highly inappropriate. All this is inappropriate. But when we called him out on that, he changed it and switched it up to this. Anyway.
It is black power before the happy hour. Now, I know the haters is out there hating.
Here he
I
goes.
know the struggle streamers are still trying to get views off of my name, but I'm not going to worry about that, brothers and sisters.
Okay, to be clear about something, Umar, I get more views on my videos than you get on your Instagram videos. Real talk.
We're not going to crash out right now. We're not going to crash out over the struggle streams, brothers and sisters. We're not.
He's been watching our live streams. That's why he's doing this. Poor guy.
Crashing out. No, sir.
Damn, he got a gang of shit back there. You see that? That's the top of the seat right there. He got all kind of shit packed back there.
Going to stay focused on the mission in 2026. Can you work at the school? Send me your resume. FDMG resumes at Gmail.
This guy been collecting resumes literally since 2010. I kid you not. I can pull up the receipt and show you.
.com. Can you work at the school? Send me your resume. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. Y'all know how this goes.
It's ridiculous.
Y'all know how this goes. Y'all know how this goes, brothers and sisters. If you need to reach me, 215-989-985.
Look. This is March 3rd, 2010. Umar Abdullah Johnson is looking for young black males, high school, 14 to 17, to work in the FDMG's aftercare and summer camp for black boys this spring and summer. I'm also looking for black males interested in teaching at the FDMG School for Black Boys. Must have a bachelor's degree, squeaky clean child abuse clearance with no felonies on the state FBI clearance, criminal clearance. Email resume and clearances to Umar Abdullah Johnson at yahoo.com. No sisters. This guy's been collecting resumes for over it's not 16 years. It's almost 16 years, 15 years and roughly 9 months. Anyway.
Because I want messages only. 215-989-9858. Don't call me because I won't answer. Text messages only. 215-989-9858. Don't call me. Text messages only, brothers and sisters. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. See that sniffing?
Uh-huh. We're going to stop all the dark skin supremacy and all the light skin supremacy. We're going to stop all the dark skin supremacy and the light skin supremacy. We're going to stop all the dark skin supremacy and the light skin supremacy, brothers and sisters. When we open up FDMG, there will be something for everyone. When we open up FDMG, brothers and sisters, we're going to have the Black Woman Study Group. We're going to have Lamaze classes for the pregnant sisters. We're going to have Black Love Reconciliation. If you're going through something with your partner, you can come and get support from other married.
Yeah, so that you can exploit them and have sex with them.
Couples. We're going to have the Black Comic Book Convention, the Black Book.
That's a new one. He just coming up with all that's a Black Comic Book Convention.
The Ex-Offenders Convention, the Pan Africanist Convention. And listen to me.
What?
Listen to me.
What?
When the weather breaks,
okay,
we're going to be having RBG Pan-African socials. It might be the first Friday. It might be the first Sunday. It might be the first Saturday. It might be the first Monday. But if you are an RBG Pan-Africanist, respect to the Nation of Islam. But I'm not speaking of them right now. Respect to.
Yeah, he was talking about ex-offenders back in 2019 with the 2019 school announcement video. We're going to cover that, the whole thing. We'll do a marathon on the 6th for the 7-year anniversary of these trap bandos.
The gods and earths, but I'm not speaking to them right now. Respect to my Hebrew brothers and sisters who I love, but I'm not talking to them right now. Respect to my Christian and my Muslim brothers and sisters, but I'm not talking about them right now. Respect to the Moorish Science Temples family, but I'm
damn. He really got a gang of shit back there, yo. I'm just amazed by that.
Saying only for the RBG Pan-Africanists, because those of us who are dedicated Pan-Africanists. You don't have to be a Garveyite, but you got to be a Pan-Africanist. You don't have to be a Garveyite, but you have to be a Pan-Africanist. There will be a once-a-month social just for the RBG.
Okay.
Just for the RBG. Music, food, chat, and chew. It will be a place for those of us who believe in Africa for the Africans. There will be a social only for those of us who believe in Africa for the Africans. You will come to FDMG for RBG social once a month because we need a safe space for the RBG Pan-African.
Okay, none of this is going to happen. Okay, I can tell you guys right now.
We need a safe space. And then there will also be a once a month social for the entire consciousness community. So you got a once a month event for the Pan-Africanists, and you have a once a month event for the entire Black consciousness community. Now, that once a month event for the entire Black consciousness community, you could be Nation of Islam, you could be Moor, you could be Nawapian, you could be God and Earth, you can
Earth. Can you be a YouTubian struggle streamer?
be Muslim, Christian, whatever you want to be for the Black consciousness social. You just got to be Black and conscious for the Black consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, I believe so. I think he's high. I don't think he's fiending quite yet. He got the sniffles, right? But I don't think he's fiending quite yet because normally when he's fiending, he's more agitated. I think he was blazing it up, turning the heat down, and that's where, like you said, he comes up with these ideas and he just keeps running off the mouth. That's what he do.
Surface social, but the RBG social, you got to be a Pan-Africanist. If you don't believe in Africa for the Africans, you can't come to that. That's only for the Pan-Africanists, but you could come to the other one.
But my beautiful black sisters, let me tell you this when I say this. Your hair must be natural. Your hair must be natural for the RBG Pan Africanist social. You're not coming to that.
He's like a big child, you know, like, you know, you can't come to my clubhouse, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm undecided on whether I'm going to let you come to the Black Consciousness social with unnatural hair. But you absolutely will not come to the RBG Pan-Africanist once a month social with Dr. Umar with any type of artificial hair. You will be turned away from the door. It is a new day, and I'm leading the way. I said it is a new day, and I'm leading the way. I said it is a new day, and I'm leading the way.
Yeah, we're leading the way inside a rental car, homeless in a rental car with all your, anyway.
2159, you ain't coming here with no wigs and lashes. You not coming here with no wigs and lashes.
Yeah, but the conscious stripper had wigs and lashes and blonde weave, Sukihana. Well, come on, cut it out, Umar.
Oh no. Oh no, we not doing that here.
He's such, I mean, come on, just, that's his type. He likes the stripper type, but he got to get on here and pretend.
We not doing that here. Take that to some other fake consciousness movement, but you ain't coming to Team Pan-African like that.
But you was dealing with a stripper that, anyway.
You're not coming to the international movement for the independence of African people, for the independence and protection of African people like that. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. So I'm just letting y'all know what's about to pop off when the weather breaks. I'm just letting y'all know what's about to pop off when the weather breaks. I'm just letting y'all know what's about to pop off when the weather breaks. But hit your PayPal. PayPal.
See, there you go again.
me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Send them checks and money orders. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. P.O. Box 96.
Yeah, he don't realize it, that he's homeless, living out of his car, and he continues to beg for money, but that's the problem. He ain't figured it out yet. It's amazing. That shows a lack of intelligence. You have not figured it out, Umar.
634 Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Make sure you subscribe to my Instagram so you are automatically part of the book club. You don't ever have to come to the private meetings, but you can if you choose. But if
he probably ain't even gonna have no private meetings, cut it out.
If you fail the test at the private meetings, you can't come to the next one. And if you fail 2 of them in the same year, you cannot.
You will be banished to Hades. You know, Umar, you gotta exaggerate shit. If you fail 2 of the same year, you gotta drink 15 Obatala shakes while eating a hamburger. Come on, Umar.
10 any for the entire next year, brothers and sisters.
Next year.
Don't come to the meetups unless you're serious. If you have any questions, feel free to text me 215-989-9858, or you can email me princeofpanafricanism@gmail.com. princeofpanafricanism@gmail.com. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
All right, Umar. Kogo sent me this.
This is so much. I'm gonna have to run away. This is not right now. I'm gonna call that snow.
Unfortunate soul, I'm Sister Avante, and I want to give you this $10.
Next time, make it 20.
Huh, what an ungrateful bum.
Okay. By the way, James says that that's not a pillow because you can see the hoodie Umar had on in the interview, on the Art of Dialogue. Yeah, but that's on the other side. Let's go look one more time. And again, I don't know for sure. Okay, I just know he got a gang of shit packed back there. Yeah, you're right. That's on the other side. So if you guys go to the Art of Dialogue, you can see that black hoodie. So you see it on that side. It's like it's more forward. But on the other side towards the back, that actually looks like a comforter. I could be wrong. But the point is he has a lot of clothes back there, stuff back there. So what I think is, and again, I don't know this as a statement of fact, I think that right now, well, he can't be at his mama's house. So he's living out of this car. That's what I think. Right? Okay, let's close this out. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Someone had asked me to play this video the other day, and they sent me a super chat, so I want to play that this video now, and then we'll wind down the show. Here we go.
Talked to Umar for 3 years. I met him when I was 24 years old, and this is a recent picture. We just met in June of last year, and we did discuss his children along with a few other things. We met up at Brandywine Diner on Concord Pike last year, and because he wanted to take me out to lunch, and I kind of wanted to talk about like just have a conversation with him regarding like Black content creators on TikTok and social media. So while we're talking, we talk about religion, we talk about racism in America, we talk about secret societies, because that was really my peak of interest. So we first started off by talking about why he was in Wilmington again. He's always going to his school in Wilmington, Delaware, because number one, he's being audited by the IRS a lot. When I first met him in 2022, he literally told me he was there because his accountant was caught stealing funds from the school. They were receiving donations for the...
To be clear, Umar tells all types of fanciful stories, and he does that to kind of, I don't know what's the word, to deflect, no, that's not, to misdirect people so that they think that the reason why he doesn't have money, or the reason why the money is not where it should be, is because people are stealing from him, or the contractors this, or the Black contractors are stealing, all this type of stuff. But he does that because he doesn't want people to ever find out how much money he's actually raised. That's why there's no transparency. And so he comes up with different types of stories. But I can, this is confirmed right here. These figures right here are confirmed. Bare minimum $1,923,499. Even if you take the purchase price that Umar says $700,000, that's still $1.2 million left over. No one can say that they've seen $1.2 million worth of renovation work going into these abandoned buildings, or $1.2 million worth of whatever, right? Since 2019. It just doesn't compute. But he tells these stories to people to make it seem as if, you know, the money's low because of other people. No, the money's low because of Umar.
And he was saying the accountant was stealing money. So he had to fire that accountant, and the IRS was asking for proof, like where the money went. So he started commuting from Philadelphia to Wilmington, Delaware frequently, just so he could be at the school in case anybody shows up and asks why the school's not done, or where the kids are at, or what's going on. So when I met up with him last year, he was just coming back from the school when we had lunch. I guess the IRS is still asking him about the school because it's not done. Like, he's receiving money, donations, but there's no progress with the school. If you were to go up right now to the school, like, there's wooded boards on the doors, on the windows, there's weeds, graffiti on some of the buildings. Like, it's not in proper condition. There's no AC, there's no heating, there's nothing. Like, it's not, the school's not ready. When we were talking at the table, I started asking him a lot of private questions, like, were you married? Do you have any kids? He was telling me, yes, I have 2 daughters. One of them is a teenager, and the other one is maybe 7 years old at the time. So the child is probably 9 years old. So he was saying to me that the mother of those girls, or the mother of, I don't know if it's 2 separate women or just one woman, the woman or the women are taking him to court for child support because he's not an active dad. He's not in their life, and he told me that as well. He doesn't visit them as much as he should. However, he visits his mom a lot, and she's in Philly. So
that's because he was living with his mama when he can.
I just was confused. I was like, how are you talking about being a pillar and how Black men are so needed in families today, but you're not even an active dad? He was not an active father. He said it. He confirmed it. I can back this young lady up. He did say that he was not going to be there. And on top of that, he was saying that he would like to, in the future, every 2 weeks out of the month, go to Ghana. He practices Ifa, which is African spirituality. And we were talking about that for a while because I'm kind of versed in it as well. And so when we were talking, I was asking him, I was like, so you never got married? He said, oh no, I never got married to any of those women. But he dated a lot. And I could tell that he was a playboy because he was very, very flirtatious, very. And also I noticed too, his personality is much different in person than it is online. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a woman or something like that, but he's not as animated. He seems more hyped up when he's like on a podcast or online, really engaging. He was not as engaging in person. And I felt like that was interesting. I was having to ask him questions. He didn't really ask me questions. It's almost like we had lunch just for me to ask him questions. And
Yeah, that's a narcissism.
I didn't really like that because it was supposed to be a back and forth discussion. And so we were talking about a variety of topics.
Yep.
He is extremely flirtatious. And that was the last time I met up with him, and probably the last time, because it was very aggressive, because I'm in a relationship. And when I had met up with him last year, I told my partner, like, I'm going to go have lunch with Dr. Umar. He was like, what the fuck? So he was like, yeah, go have lunch and come back and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, see, that shouldn't have happened. Okay, that's real talk. No. Anyway.
But y'all, before I go back to seeing my boyfriend, on my life, when we left, I gave him a hug. He was like, He said, the women got to have booty. And I was like, what? He said, you got to have booty. If I'm talking to you, you got to have booty. Can you cook? I was like, yeah, I can cook. He was like, good. So you can cook and you got booty. And he was backing up from me. He said, He said, business before back shots. Business before back shots. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. And mind you, I'm in a fucking relationship. So I was like, what do you mean business before back shots, nigga? Like, what? So he's laughing to himself, and he goes back to his car because he was going to go back to Philly to go take care of his mom. And I was like, I can't see this fool again. Because what do you mean business before back shots? No back shots are being given. What?
Yeah, but see, he talks like that all the time, right? Not extraordinary. He always talking about sex and cookies and anyway.
Because business before back shots, whose back are you shooting? Because it's not mine. The fuck? So, extremely flirtatious. Very much so. I remember asking him too, like, are you and Sukihana like a thing? Because I know she's from Delaware too. I was like, do y'all, are y'all fucking? I was asking him too. I was like, are you and Suki like a thing? Like you, because I know she from Delaware too. I'm like, are y'all fucking? Like, and he was like, no, we're friends. That's my girl. You know, she got her own restaurant in downtown Wilmington somewhere. Sure. When you say to me, business before back shots, and you and Suki are just friends, highly doubt it, because you got a big booty too. Anyway, I say all this to say,
what in the world?
This young lady is telling the truth. He is a deadbeat father, extreme hypocrite, and huge flirt. This is not the black man you think he is. He's loyal. He got a wife at home. He take care of his kids. He's not that type of black man. He is, he spreads his seed. He told me he only got 2 kids. I feel like it's more. He's not visiting his children. He's not paying child support. And these things came out of his own fucking mouth. Okay? So I believe this young lady, and I just had to wait.
Yeah, and the young lady she's talking about was Umar Johnson's daughter. And by the way, I can prove it in court. It's verified. Umar has at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. And there was a 4th woman who attempted to put him on child support, but she was unsuccessful. So it's probably turned out that wasn't his baby. He's been living a sexually promiscuous lifestyle for decades, and it's highly likely, okay, I'm speculating, it's highly likely, extremely likely that he has other children around the world, right? It's highly likely. Okay, I mean, we got a gang of people in here, but I got to get up off of here because I got something else I got to do. And I want to thank everyone so much for tuning on into this live stream. So let me just give a quick rundown for what the schedule is going to be. Tomorrow, I have the video. I may do it as a live stream, like a short live stream, the video of the financials tomorrow, or I may just upload it as a standalone. I may do a live and then upload it as a standalone later on, just just for everyone. Well, no, that'd be for everyone. But I mean by just a standalone without any commentary. I will do that. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, I'll figure out exactly how we do it. And then after that, right after that, we will, members, I apologize again, members, we will cover the video. It's a 44-minute video of this next segment of the documentary. And it goes from 2006, I believe, through 2010. So we're making progress here because 2010, Umar was born in 1974. So 75, 75, 25, 30. Yeah. So what do we have? We're going to have a roughly, 16 more years to get caught up on. But the thing is that once I get into 2019, it's going to go really quickly. Okay. Because it's going to go really quickly. It's just a matter of getting from 2000, the next segment will be 2011. I got to get up until 2019. Once I get there, we'll be very, very close. But it's going to take some time. The segment is 44 minutes long. We'll do that tomorrow. What I'll do is I'll do a brief presentation for an introduction for members, and then I'll play the video in full without commentary, and then we'll kick it for a little while and talk about what was shared inside of the documentary. So that's what's on the agenda for tomorrow. Furthermore, I want to mention I will be going live on February 6th. It's on a Saturday. That will be the 7-year anniversary of Umar acquiring these abandoned buildings. We may turn it into a marathon. And then Umar plans, he states that he's going to be going live too. So part of that marathon, we will cover whatever Umar does, if he actually goes live. He may not. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. So we can look forward to that. Again, I want to thank everyone so much for being here today. Thank you for all of your support here on my YouTube page. I also want to thank everyone who sent in super chats, who sent in super stickers. Thank you so much. In fact, let me make sure. I may have missed some because I haven't been in here in a while. Let's see. D. Will says, I've never been a part of a book club, but I'm pretty sure he's doing it wrong. Yeah. He's just throwing anything out there because he's trying to get money out of people. That's all it is. And he's in dire straits. Clearly, it looks like he's living out of his car at this point. That's not the first time. I've seen times in the past where he had blankets in the back seat. And someone in the chat, and it wasn't even in the chat room, someone in the comment section for one of my YouTube videos says, so no one's going to talk about the fact he has blankets in the back seat. Umar's been living like this for a long time. He's been homeless since 2019. He doesn't have many speaking engagements, so he doesn't have room and board. And clearly he doesn't have money in order to get rent hotel rooms and motel rooms, right? So it is what it is, right? Thank you, D. Will. Kadar says, show the dusty apartment. I'll like the vid 8 more times. The dusty apartment. What are you talking about when he flipped the phone? I'll pull it up just because. I still got about 10 more minutes anyway. Let me see here. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, and this was his last residence. And I think you're talking about the one where he flips the phone at his residence. He also flipped the phone at his mama closet too. But this is the video right here.
Alpha male, send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com is what we're looking for. My thing is y'all need to. What happened? I'm in the process of relocating.
Well, he be lying so
Delaware,
much.
so the apartment is a mess right now. Y'all don't need to see all that. I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, it's crazy. This video's from 2019. He still hasn't moved to Delaware. That's crazy. Oh, let me close out this poll. 2,176 votes, which is awesome. What is the best thing that Umar Johnson can do right now? 7% said get his own residence. 31% said get a job. 54% said stop scamming. And 9% said stop turning the heat down. In my opinion, I think he needs to stop turning the heat down first to kind of get things moving in the right direction. Okay, let me go ahead and end that poll. Thanks everyone who voted on that. We have 957 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's absolutely awesome. I would try to go for 1,000, but that's being greedy. We did 1,000 yesterday. I'm happy with that. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Let me go ahead and do the rest of these. Thank you, Kadar. Jazz says, how do some black women fall for this crap? I can't answer that. I don't have an answer to that. I really don't. That's something that the sisters would have to answer. So you women in the chat room, you got an answer for that? Go ahead and share in the chat room. I don't have an answer. I got to leave right there. Okay. I ain't even going to pretend. Thank you, Jazz, for the super chat. Where's my 130 queen at? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. I have it queued up. Thanks, College of Natural Health Science. What's up, Seth? Seth says, personally, I think warm peanut butter and hot syrup is rather disgusting. Yeah, some of the stuff he comes up with, it's like, man, where are you coming up with this? But that's Umar. He spends more time talking about, sex and sex-related things than he does talking about, educating black children or black boys. That's not hyperbole. He really does. No, he's really. I mean, yeah. Well, that's Umar. Yeah. Thanks, Seth. D. Will says, seriously, people that still believe there's going to be a school need to be studied. I don't get it. Yeah. D. Will. The thing is that there are people that's been around long enough that used to believe, but they know now that it's not going to happen. And I guess we can call those people like those are the veterans. You know, like in sports, those are the veterans. But then there are people more recently they've heard about Umar, and they're more recently could be over the last year, 2, 3 years, maybe even 4 years, I guess. And they don't know the backstory, and they haven't done the research, and they don't realize how long this has been going on, and that no real progress has taken place. No real progress. And just because you take allegedly $700,000 out of millions of dollars that you've raised to acquire some abandoned buildings, that's not necessarily progress, because the amount of money that needs to go into renovating these bandos and get them up to code is millions of dollars. So it's not really progress, but it extended the scam for almost another 7 years, right? So I think that it's you got to look at it in terms of veterans versus rookies. And there are people who are more recently they've learned about Umar, and they believe, and they still believe, but over time they're going to figure it out. I think Tip DeGriff figured it out. Now, if Tip DeGriff could figure it out, I think anybody could figure it out, because she was a diehard Umar Johnson follower. Yep. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. Right. Thanks, D. Will. Mr. Controversy says, Lenon, notice how he's a Black Panther supporter. Yeah, all of a sudden, because he takes his shirt off and he shows it. That's all. It's all performative. That's Umar. He knows that. So he gets in the car and he sits in there, and then he has to open up his shirt to show the Black Panther shirt. But that's all performative with Umar. But, you know, Umar, listen, what you need to do is just go get a job. Just go get a job. Never mind. There's no point. Thank you, Ms. Controversy. Kadar says he's going to say that the city inspected the school and did not approve what he's done so far. It will now be the fault of the city. He set it up already. He sure did. We were talking about this earlier. The other thing, too, is Umar, he's such a liar and a scammer. He may not even put in for a certificate of occupancy. He may just say that he did and then say that it was denied. So if he ever says that he put in a certificate of occupancy, well, show the receipt. We need to see some evidence that, you know, physical evidence, tangible evidence to show that he actually did that. And if there is none, don't believe what he's saying. That's what Umar, never take what he says at face value. Even the figures that he gives in terms of $700,000 purchase price, I don't believe it was $700,000. I believe it was $400,000 or somewhere around $400,000. But we're going to go with what he said, just because in a documentary, I'm going based upon what Umar says when it comes to the financials and the tracking of the financials. And the reason why it's important to do it based upon what he says, even though he's a pathological liar, is because you guys will see, because I'm going to chart it and put it in a graph format, where the figures don't make sense, because as it progresses over time, he reaches a certain figure, and then 3 years later, he's less than that figure. See, and because he hasn't shown any receipts, hey, it is either way, he's a scammer. Well, the same thing applies to this. He's already set this up, and he's been talking about this for over a year now, and he may not even put in for a certificate of occupancy, but say that he did and that it was rejected, and then he can go through the whole process of extending this even further, blaming the city, always blaming somebody else, and then beg for donations. Right? We need to get a lawyer. Right? Okay. Thank you, Kadar. D. Will says it's actually kind of impressive how he can bullshit and lie this easily and this much. Yeah, but he's done it for decades now. He's a professional shit talker. He really is, and he's a pathological liar. Lying is hard to do. It is. You know, because sometimes I'll be on here and I'll be joking and I'll be trying to act like Umar, and I try to make stuff up, and I can kind of get started, but then I stop. You know, it's like, okay, what's next? But Umar, his mind, he can just keep going and making up shit, lying, and then he goes into the next lie, and it's fluid, it's effortless. It takes a special type of person to be able to do something like that. But he's been doing this for decades now. Yeah, that's Umar. Thanks, D. Holly B, what's up? Holly B says, so can I have his hairdresser's number to get that sponge? I don't get it. Why Umar go get the sponge? I don't get that. Anyway, I ain't gonna rehash. I got the video queued up. Shout out to Kogo. Thank you for being a member for 48 months. Shout out to Holly B. KK says, why would adults want to hang out at an elementary school? Right. He doesn't even realize that's inappropriate. Umar's conceptualization of FDMG as a place for people to come to, it's not about the children. It's his own kick it spot. I said this back in 2019, hit the one. I sure did. Because if you listen to when he talks about after you, in the acquisition video, we'll cover that on February 6th for the 7-year anniversary. The video that he dropped back in 2019, February 6th, the school announcement video. If you listen carefully to what he's saying and what he's proposing he's going to do, this is all for adults. So it's Umar's kick it spot. It's his own personal clubhouse. At least I'm talking about in his imagination. It ain't got shit to do with no kids. It has to do with Umar and what he wants to do with adults. Yeah. So KK, when we do that live stream to cover that, keep this in mind, because then you'll see how all this fits in. I know it's ridiculous, but how this fits in terms of Umar's mentality. His whole approach to the acquisition was that was going to be the Black Mecca, not for Black children, but for the Black Mecca for Black consciousness for adults. And he's going to have yoga classes for the women, and he's going to have offenders conferences. I thought it was supposed to be a school for Black children. And the list goes on and on and on. Right. Okay, thanks, KK. Check your email. Yeah, I got that one. I checked it. I saw you initially when you typed that in there, and I went and I checked it. Okay, and thanks, James. Thanks for all your help too, bro. I appreciate you. Okay, we got 3 more super chats. We'll be up out of here. AA is for Aaliyah says, next time you people put a like on the video, make it 2 likes. Yeah, if y'all can hit that like button, people who still here, we're at 988. Can we get to 1,000? We need 12 more likes. Okay, we're going to be out of here within the next 5 minutes. We can do it. We had 989. Okay. Thank you for saying that, because the likes are going up. We probably get to 1,000. All right. Thank you for the super chat as well. Dax, what's up? Dax says, Jermaine, a.k.a. Umar, a.k.a. Mr. 130, shut up. Okay. All right. So it's succinct and to the point. I appreciate it, Daxter. Thank you for super chat. Jason says, please look up who Helen Pitts Douglas is. That's Frederick Douglass's second wife, who was a white woman, because, and no disrespect, Frederick Douglass, according to Umar, would be what? A bunny hopper. And we're going to leave it right there. All right. Thank you, Jay Civic. Thanks everyone else who sent in super chats. If you send in super stickers, listen, I do appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. And I want everyone to know that I appreciate you guys in the spirit of appreciation, coming and joining me during these live streams. I always look forward to it, and I always have a good time. And you guys have blessed me and my family so much. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for tuning on in. And also thanks to the mods for handling business. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 live streams, one for everyone, another one for members only. And then we will be doing a marathon on February 6th, 2026 for the 7-year anniversary of Umar acquiring these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. So that'll be 7 years, and not one Black child's been educated. Millions of dollars raised. All right. Shout out to Kogo, as we always do. Cookie Crush chats undefeated. Appreciate you all. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. We got to 1,000 likes too. Shout out to the Cookie Crush chat. Y'all the best. Okay, ain't nothing like the Cookie Crush chat. Here we go. Shout out to Kogo, Room 130 family. What's up, Laurie? Thank you, love
people. Great work today.
Here we go. Nocturnal. Shout out to a lady. Thank you so much. And thanks for being a mom too. Thank you, Kilo. Yeah, respect to you, Stevie. All right. Here we go. You're welcome.
Lights are rolling on a movie set today. Action, she cutting down and packing things away. Heading to the red roof in room 130. Homie gonna sponge my hair real nice and make me look real pretty. Rose of a hose, ask how we roll.
Shout out to Canada. Rep your city, rep your country.
Turn it down the heat. You know where we meet. At the red roof.
Let's go.
In room 130. My guy gonna do my hair and make me look real pretty. Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay the night.
Crystal.
1:30.
Thanks, Crystal. TJ.
Dreams so big they barely fit the silver screen. Director yells, but as we end another scene. Bedroom nights when me and the homie beat, sponge my hair all night. Probably won't get no sleep. Girls over who's, that's how we roll. Turn it down the heat.
Well, y'all crazy.
You know where we meet. At the Red Roof Inn in room 130.
Yeah.
My guy gonna do my hair and make me look real pretty. Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay the night.
Oh, wow.
In room 130.
Boy, man, you tripping.
At the Red Roof Inn
South of San Fran.
My guy gonna do my hair and make me look real pretty. Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay the night in room 130.
All right, Dr. Kogo. Yeah, this was a masterpiece. Shout out to Kogo. All right. Ricky Crush Chat's undefeated. All right, thank you guys again for tuning on in. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow with a couple of live streams, one for everyone and then one for members only. Again, I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart and on the top of my heart. Okay, both and in the middle for tuning on in. All right, love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace.